Otherwise, upgrades and all that's pretty straightforward. Gotta keep in mind that Kulex's assassin might be useful here. And who knows what the player base is like at this time anyway. We already got a match, so that's always a plus. At least. Now, let's see what we get. Oh, Void Weaver right away. And at least this is the test I really want against Agiani, that I've been robbed of multiple times, maybe? It depends what kind of fleet we're up against. It heavily depends on that fact, since I do have the lances to kind of keep pepper them at range, but I need to spot them almost immediately for that to really take root, to at least risk doing the damage necessary. And ideally, I kind of want to destroy their engines to make it difficult for them to either evade my ram attempts and torpedoes, or just to keep them from getting close. And I don't really need 2 frigates. It'll be a bit of a slow process, but I'm definitely going to be strongest if I can stay grouped together. Ideally. Otherwise, do I need my warp jump? I don't know how much that'll help me. And I don't have disruption overcharge of any sort. So, Kulex's assassin is probably not going to work because of that. And if I can get the flagship to kind of tank the shots, that'd be amazing. Nope.
Coordinates acknowledged.
Looks like we're against the Phoenix type of play. Or at least the dual Phoenix. It's just a question of which one's the Phoenix, which I'm only guessing is the middle. The middle ones, ideally.
Aye, Admiral.
We'll know soon enough. I could launch fighters to help with that factor. Alright, that fixes that a tiny bit.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So we'll just use that psychology to test this theory out a bit.
Changing course.
And it ultimately comes down, are we dealing with pulsars or not?
Your command. Understood.
Since there's a gas cloud here, we'll hold fire for good measure.
You have seized a strategic
And if I use these fighters effectively enough, maybe they can help deal with torpedoes to an extent too.
Engaging engines.
And let's keep in mind range of my weaponry as well. Since I would like to engage as quickly as possible, ideally.
Fury interceptors in flight.
I don't think I even launched the fighters on my carrier, did I? Or at least on this cruiser is what I mean to say.
Your command. Coordinates acknowledged.
And if I can destroy those, that'd be great. But I think they're going to fly out of range in time.
Course
oh, never mind.
Engaged. Aye, Admiral.
Now, ideally,
acknowledged.
Since I'm utilizing supercharged void shield, I kind of want my battleship to ideally take the initial shots.
We wait your command.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
We'll see how this plays out.
Acknowledged. Changing course. Aye, Admiral. Underway.
I should pulse immediately because that allows me to start putting pressure on them.
Ship ready. Setting course. Ship ready.
Now let's start revealing and start doing damage, and keep in mind, keep an eye on the range.
You have seized a strategic area.
Setting course. We wait your command. We serve. Engaging engines. We wait your command.
We're doing amazing damage already, though, at least, so there's always that for me.
Your orders? Heading acknowledged.
Now.
Enemy sighted. Aye, Admiral. Enemy sighted. Ship ready. Changing course. We wait your command. Understood.
Well, generator's gone. We're doing free damage, essentially.
We serve.
Now we gotta make sure
Underway.
that you don't get to do the proper damage you want.
Your orders. All ahead, full.
Oh, you burnt all your combustion gauge. A little unfortunate, but
Underway.
we'll go with it for now.
Ship ready. Engaging engines.
And ideally, it should be prioritizing proper components too.
We wait your command. Maximum burn. Ship ready. We serve.
Good
Course
damage so
engaged.
far. I wish I had my combustion gauge still up
Aye, Admiral.
for this cruiser to kind of get to safety, but so far, really damn promising damage.
Course engaged.
Now let's make this count. Hell, I should be...
The enemy has
Yeah, both the
25%
Phoenixes lost their generators, to be honest, so
strategic points.
let's take advantage of this
Lightning strike. We wait your command.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Changing course.
That Phoenix is all but gone.
Coordinates acknowledged.
The enemy has
Although I
seized
wish
the
that had done
strategic
more damage.
area.
I wish I was able to ram that, but
Initiate emergency repairs.
yeah, because you burnt all your combustion gauge is what happened there.
Impossible, Admiral. Ship ready.
Yeah, I burnt all the combustion gauge. I'm getting a little bit sloppy with my time off, I guess. But you're dead, and that was the flagship conveniently too.
We serve.
Changing course.
Aye, Admiral.
Now, I want more Novacan shots, ideally.
Acknowledged.
And that should be dead, although debris in the way. Yeah, I kind of figured that wouldn't hit, sadly.
Target locked in.
Oh my. Well, I am using lock-on to be fair, and I have like a crap ton of lances. They're bound to critically hit. In all honesty, the Phoenixes probably should be tanking the hits, because as weird as it may sound, they are kind of the least interesting and arguably the least threatening, in all seriousness. With the potential of the torpedoes, at least to kill me quickly. Although, I need to play a lot of it as GI to say that with certainty, since, after all, the critical hit resistance of a battleship and grand cruisers are definitely noticed, but would a battle cruiser compared to a regular cruiser matter? That I can't be certain of. But still, that is the main strength, and in all honesty, I probably should have been a little more aggressive with my frigate, since they got a little bit closer than I realistically would have liked to start peppering with lances. You just need to be super aggressive, I think, or ideally, be able to abuse my limited mobility, especially when I don't keep burning my combustion gauge. That was not the most impressive start for me there, doing that repeatedly. Since Void Weaver could have easily stayed on my prow, if he was confident in his ability to dodge my torpedoes, or at least watch for him, that is, and then I couldn't hit him with my broadsides, at least for large periods of time. Hard to really say again, but definitely if he could get on my stern, and he should do that on every opportunity, especially since if I burn high energy turn for that, then I'm not going to have the all head full, or at least not as much combustion gauge to effectively chase him for said close range torpedoes and ramming ideally. But it's a good start, I suppose. I don't want to deal with the negative mindset constantly, so let's hopefully get a different opponent. And every time I play with orcs with commandos, I'm always terrified the tractor cannon might bug out, kind of giving away my position. I kind of need that confirmation, especially after every patch, to know if the tractor cannon, or at least all these cans, are working properly. And hell, I am kind of tempted to try out the Nova can too, since it has been buffed up. It might work to an extent. Since what was it? 100 damage max before for each of the Novacan shots, and there's 3 of them, keep in mind, and that's been buffed to do 250. Nowhere near as powerful as, say, a regular Nova can, but if I can hit with 2 of them, then it makes up for it to an extent. And hell, if you see my matches with the Apocalypse before, you know that thing can do work, if I set it up properly. Otherwise, I did make a couple of revisions to this fleet, just a tiny bit. I swapped out my cruiser and one additional battle cruiser for a couple of light cruisers. Since it keeps the same type of firepower, but gives me extra cruiser, or light cruiser rather, and, well, more firepower, since I am kind of encouraged to hold fire a lot, so I'm not getting a lot of use out of my guns, at least early on. And hell, the fire bays could be a bit of a burden. I am going to have to experiment with this to see how much I like cutting back on so many fighters. Since that one was a triple Scourge type fleet I went up against when I did with the Evil Sun's orcs, was not a very comfortable experience. And if anything, that should be a nightmare for me if my opponents split up those 3 Scourges as opposed to deathballing them or grouping them up together. Since I had no ways to decoy them or at least stall them out, they were just free to keep shooting at me constantly, and that would have sucked if that dragged out. Yep, you just missed on the first match there, Al, and that was against Voidweaver, which we're doing again, dang it. I don't want this negativity, but I can abuse the fact that Voidweaver should have no vision, so I can abuse that to an extent. And with their 9,000 range versus my 9,000 range, I can get really good critical hits if my Mega Cans hit. So there is going to be a little bit of distraction tactics. There's more of the bad mannerism, is it? This is not going to be a good stream if this is going to be a consistent thing. Especially with the tractor can, that's going to induce a whole bunch of rage. But the Nova can could work well at the same time. I don't know there. It's been a few days since I played there last, so... But I like the idea of the rocks here kind of drawing fire. Since they are, after all, immune to critical hits, they have higher speed. And we are dealing with a fleet that has no access to frigates, or at least reliable... Well, who am I kidding? We are... If there's 2 Phoenixes, then there's Fission. So I kind of would like to spread out some. I would like to anyway, but how to best split up? Ideally away from the objectives, and I'm going to have to plan out my engagement incredibly well. Since this can easily backfire on me, if half my fleet gets caught, especially if I would tractor cans support them. Although, this pre-deployment when I try moving the entire group is a little inconvenient. So we'll just take our time.
Move that junk!
That's the main thing. And we know what we're up against here. My Mega Cans can be amazing, it's a question of how well I can deal with the torpedoes. No? Oh, I grouped them all in the same group. That's a little inconvenient. Let's correct that. There's still the possibility of a fighter, a carrier ship of some kind.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So let's keep that in mind.
Stop shooting!
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
If there's no fighters, then this is kind of the best case situation for me. Okay, there is a fighter squadron.
Retro's on!
Now, let me judge its heading. It's going way over to the left here.
Here we go!
Damn it, I need to change these groups.
Fox is best.
There, that should do it a little bit better.
Here we go!
Group 4, Group 3. And in all honesty,
Retro's on!
my main strategy is just taking my time here. Keep in mind, I am relying on Shroud mechanic here, which is not something you're used to when facing off against orcs, or even playing as orcs. I just gotta keep in mind that this thing has like same sensor detection radius as I do.
You have seized a strategic area.
And these rocks are gonna be
You
good.
got it, boss!
I like to believe anyway. Hell, I don't even, in theory, need my entire fleet there, Spot'em.
You have seized
What I'm
a
afraid of is
strategic
launching these
area.
fighters and then suddenly boomerang
The
recalling
enemy
them
has
back.
seized a strategic area.
That's what I'm suddenly afraid of, because that might actually detect me. Yeah,
Move that junk!
that's kind of what I suspected.
Faster, you grots! You got it.
I can use this to my advantage
Orcs,
some.
orcs, orcs.
I just gotta keep in mind where the fleet is, so that way I know where the fighters are gonna get recalled to. So I'm not inconveniently revealed like that. Sure,
The fight is over
detect the
here.
rock, that's good for me, in all honesty.
Orcs, orcs, orcs.
I just gotta keep in mind that that might happen again. Actually, I'm in a gas cloud too, who am I
Here we
kidding?
go.
You may see me, but I'm gonna get reconcealed in a moment.
You want us over
And I have
there?
good mobility as well.
You got it, boss.
Hell, there. Without a doubt, the next fighter squadron is likely going into the launch in this gas cloud, so I need to be ready for that eventuality.
Orcs, orcs, orcs. We's ready. Faster, you grots.
Otherwise, just can only sit and wait and try to avoid these fighters some.
You got it, boss.
Because once I grab this objective, it'll be pretty awkward for my opponent.
Move that junk. What do you want?
I'm just not oblivious to the fighters which we just seen
You
briefly.
want us over there?
Which I'm surprised they... Okay, they're getting launched, and it's like I suspected. They went straight to the gas cloud.
Faster, you grots. Here we go. Orcs is best. You
As far
got
as
it,
my
boss.
opponent knows, there may only be a single rock, but that's going to be changed in a moment.
Enemy ship sighted. Orcs, orcs, orcs. We's ready.
Gotta keep in mind the fighters are still in the gas cloud. Which one is the carrier ship? The one hanging back, without a doubt. And
You want us
I'll
over
do
there?
fine just tanking these shots here pretty well.
Orcs,
Because you
orcs,
have to
orcs.
recall your fighters, and we have the objective now. And you're shooting at
Here we
a
go.
light cruiser that took no damage so far. It's just a little bit awkward apparently with the movement.
Orcs is best.
Now, the most important thing is to watch for the fighters to be launched or recalled, since you know what's going to happen, where they're going to go next.
We's ready.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points. You have seized a strategic area.
Here we go. You got it.
Probably not the most exciting match, but it'll be tense for everyone.
Retro's on. Yeah.
There's always that fear of being stream sniped, which can always burden me quite a bit
Orcs
there,
is best.
since all it takes is just tune into my stream or knowing I'm streaming to really negate this one strength that I have going for me.
We's ready.
But, alright, I kind of called that
Here we
there.
go.
I'm gonna get... I think most of my fleet's gonna get spotted last, so it's gonna be a bit
Orcs, orcs,
inconvenient.
orcs. You got it, boss. Retro's on. The fight is over here. Daka, daka, daka.
Now, I'm wondering if there's a false maneuver,
Enemy ship sighted.
because I never did prioritize engines, did I? Yes, I did.
We came, we saw, we wrecked it. Orcs, orcs, orcs.
Now, this is my first time using Novacam. We'll see how this works out.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Because you know this tractor can is going to be amazing, if utilized properly. So let's make this damage count. Ideally, and make sure we're prioritizing really well too. Ideally, I need engine critical hits since... Ideally. Oh. Although doing this properly is not doing me much good here. Now ram everything ideally. And I gotta keep in mind the rally too. Now we do have boosters and we have rocks coming on in too, which could do a good amount of damage, especially with this turnaround maneuver. So keep boring ideally, especially those. Oh, my flagship's the one that's mutinied, okay. And you should pretty much die pretty quickly there, if I can get more ramming in like that. Which is about to happen in a hurry. Alright, so... Well, technically both the rocks were supposed to be on hold fire. So that way, I'm not revealing myself with my DACA, my guns. But they weren't really... They were only supposed to soak fire anyway. And from what I understand... Void Weaver had no excuse for that loss, I suppose. It felt a little bit clumsy on my part. But hey, I got a good surround, good concave on him. So technically, he did get overwhelmed, and he flew right into my rocks too. If he had turned right instead of left, that could have dragged out a little bit longer. But no, I got some extra boarding to help with that matter some. And in all honesty, I'm gonna have to play more with the Nova Can, but hell, it technically can be really damn effective, at least really good at doing damage against Agiani when they Wraithbone shift. It's just a question, will it do enough damage to really justify a skill slot though? And my opponent was doing the smart thing and waiting for me to burn the tract can, and in all seriousness I could play that to my advantage. If he doesn't want to Wraithbone shift, then he's just staying in range for that much longer, and then I can tract can just before he gets out of range or something like that. But yeah, that was definitely fun there. A different experience to what you would expect with orcs. But how do I feel about the fleet generally? It's a question of if I want 2 rocks versus 1 or not. Although they can be really good at shielding each other, protecting each other. And of course, misdirecting a tiny bit, I suppose, since I think Void Weaver only assumed there was that 1 rock, maybe. Although, gonna have to play with it a bit more, especially since I haven't played with orcs in a while. But their higher speed can catch opponents off guard, I think, if they're not prepared. Oh god, advertisements, we don't want that now. If anything, it's probably due to the E3 hype that's going on as far as like viewer counts or something. Who knows? At least with Hold Fire, there's a visual effect for it now, which helps a lot. I'm sure we can count the number of times that I keep forgetting I have Hold Fire on before they implement that with the recent patch. So, it is definitely a good quality of life, especially when you have so many different ships, and if you have 1 or 2 ships on Hold Fire, I don't know how it used to work, if it showed as the entire squad potentially having Hold Fire on, or just this, or if they were all active. But either way, being able to visually see that at a glance is kind of convenient. But let's have some more fun with the Drukhari here, and this will be an interesting challenge for me if we face off against Void Weaver again, since it'll be Drukhari against Agiani. Which, in theory, should be a bad matchup for me. At least while their hollow field's up. But I would like some different diversity, some. Let's try not to ruin the mood too much after all. Try to. So it's definitely nice improvements. Oh god. Mirror match. On the plus side, maybe? Well, what do I have going for me with this matchup? I'm assuming 3 battleships, the usual. And what I have is higher mobility, which kind of allows me to fight, at least fight at max range and then outrun them, maybe? Maybe. This is something I'm going to really need to think on, in all honesty. But I do have gas clouds to conceal my cruisers. Or do I want to conceal my battleships? That's the big question. That is what I'm honestly curious about. What would be better to conceal? Since I think it's probably a good idea to have this battleship grab the objective at least quickly. And without a doubt need some kind of beacon since I lack any form of fighters to reveal them. Micro warp jump's pointless. Wraith bone reinforcement might be significant too. So many things I want. I feel like that might be necessary. And splinter torpedoes are great for slowing them down. I have, let's see, and this looks like the usual 5 ships. Now ideally, get the whole shadow field to fully charge up for me. I didn't really get a whole lot of time there because I wanted to make sure the shadow field was active. For as little as it mattered.
We shall flay them all.
That portrait there for Jukari, that was something like the ranked reward, I believe. I believe that's the ranked reward for playing as Jukari for the last season, because I don't have access to that. That's why I'm wondering about that.
You have seized a strategic area. You have seized a strategic area.
So we got 2 objectives. We're gonna have to play this definitely by ear. It goes without saying. So I'm gonna need a separate... Actually, I can easily grab that objective. And I do have lances to kind of do free damage to whatever grabs the objective behind me. This is without doubt going to be an incredibly tense mirror match.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
What aids the Cabal? How may I serve?
Now this might be a mistake since I am gonna... Yeah, the flagship's here, that's why.
Let the engines scream. What is your wish?
That's kind of what I was afraid of. It's free damage, so I'll happily take it.
The Cabal is
Although revealing myself was a terrible idea.
How may I serve?
But we got confirmation there's a death ball going on here.
The Cabal is
And free damage is always welcome. How do I follow it up though? Because they are pursuing me right now.
onset. Engines to overload.
Well, to be fair, I have the better range. I just gotta reveal them to take full advantage of it. Hell, I didn't even utilize the fact that I could get additional range on my ships as well. So I think what's happening here is a bit... Oh, I heard a
Is your wish?
false maneuver of some kind.
We bring death. We shall slay them all. If it please.
Free damage is still good, but it won't matter until I get something that I can use it for momentum. In 15 seconds to my next scanner pulse.
I see slaves to be claimed.
Now this is where I would love the additional range. This Shadow Lance could do so much damage right now.
If it please you. What aids the Cabal?
Because you know this is gonna suck if I do this poorly.
Our onset.
You're supposed to be flying away, damn it.
How may I serve?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Agreed. shall slay them all.
Oh, these torpedoes are going to hit hard, especially with no mobility now. That wasn't quite the flagship, alas. Now, can we do the damage necessary? Because 37 boring don't mean a lot yet. And now we'll put a beacon on you for good measure. I'm okay if the flagship dies, because I got more firepower in my cruisers right now.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Torpedoes are about to come up too, so this is gonna hurt. I don't even want to fire all my torpedoes, because now you have no mobility, but that was bad torpedo shot, was it? I don't know if I should ram this or run away or what. I'm not used to this type of mirror match, let's be honest. But let's kill it off nonetheless.
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
Nope, gotta keep in mind morale. Ooh, good thing I boosted that morale quickly. Negate a lot of my problems. Alright. So, I don't know what to say about this matchup. It's a mirror match with ships that are all about stealth, and I'm facing off against opponents, technically an opponent that should be more durable than me. Although they did have impalers, which in all seriousness, that may have been the worst type of loadout for them. Since once we do get in the thick of the fighting, I kind of want to kill them now, because what if I can't reliably get my shadow field back up and conceal me, I'm as good as dead right away. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what to make of it. But hello to everyone who tuned in. You just saw the most awkward type of matchup in history. Normally, in a Drukhari matchup, there'd be 3 battleships and then God knows what else they would field in, but I arguably, well, I'm gonna have to do the math quickly. Yeah, 2,000 health versus their... I want to say they have more health than me, especially with the light cruisers that they threw in there too. So I'm thankful those torpedoes hit. I don't honestly remember if my opponent decided to boost after me. So I'm just thankful those torpedoes struck true on the battleship though. That made a world of difference there. But that wasn't a real match, I want to say. And hell, spear crystal lenses, well, that's not really a bad choice, I suppose. It keeps them from concealing themselves if they do try to run away, but maybe could have done that a little bit differently. Like I said, extended range on the flagship could have been so convenient, especially with my shadow lances with the additional damage. Don't worry, I already played in Imperial Navy. We might jump back to that. Hell, maybe play a couple of Adeptus Mechanicus, since I really do enjoy my Nova cannons. Let's just hopefully not get the same adversary. I might be tempted to just switch factions just to minimize that. I don't want to do more Shadow Wars, ideally. Now, what are we up against? Oh, well. This is going to be awkward again. I guess that settles it though. We are going to be switching factions after this. I really want to try and play against someone else. At least a different faction, ideally. And maybe I should just go with the extended range there, because with the beacon, with scanner pulses, and the fact that they don't really have a hollow field to tank shots, I don't really need the spear crystal lenses all that much. And there was an opportunity there where the battleship with the extended range could have been useful, both to bait them towards it, and to just get that free damage in, since I'm going to be relying so much on just chipping them down slowly and surely. I don't think lightning is going to strike twice though. And actually I want reload on you things. I think I forgot to put reload on you even for that last match, if I'm remembering correctly. Otherwise, I do have gas class still, but I think the element surprise is over. I think my opponent knows what I'm feeling. And with the gas cloud is way too small for me to reliably hide, so I don't know what to think. How to best approach this? But without a doubt, I like the thought process of staying hidden and never committing until I have something concrete or something going in my favor. Yeah, and I'm in a gas cloud, and I kind of... It's not doing me any good because of how I place myself. I wonder, maybe I should go after the generator, especially for early on type of damage. I am wondering what would be best to prioritize, since if I do destroy the generators, then they have no way to they're kind of visible for that entire period, I think. Just gotta be careful how it's split up. And keep an eye on where this beacon's going, which probably might be stopping somewhere between the third objective there. Never mind now that I think of it, my beacon placement was really bad. But again, it's like I said, damn it. Lost focus there for a moment. Gotta keep these things moving, hell. I might just shift Q for the sake of it too sometime. We have a frigate there. I'm fine with letting that beacon go for now. Since we know everything's over there, it doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I need to pay close attention to how much they boost and get a good sense of where they might be. Because I heard a boost, but that don't mean much yet. We just know the battleship may be over there, or is heading over in that direction vaguely.
What is your wish?
You have seized a strategic area.
Nope, and I'm identified. That's not what I want.
I see slaves to be claimed.
Yep, that's the idea. Try and prioritize. Maybe I should seriously go after a generator.
How may I serve?
Put some awkward pressure on my opponent.
Fear our onset. We shall flay them all.
I just gotta try and reveal him early.
Engines to overload. I see slaves to be claimed.
Now, can my flagship do damage?
Aids the cabal.
Not with this dang frigate in the way, damn it. That's inconvenient.
The engines scream. How may I serve?
Come on, how much more? 18,000 range, and you can't still hit.
Agreed. Engines to overload. Fear our onset. The cabal is all.
Can I still keep hitting?
With all
I like free damage, but I am giving away. Okay, I take that back.
all decks.
I guess I'm still concealed because of that.
If it pleased you. Agreed. Fear our onset. What is
This
your
may not
wish?
bode well for me at the moment.
With full speed.
Impalers, 4 Impaler squadrons, okay.
We bring death.
And I don't have a beacon or anything of the sorts, but
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
not having a beacon's gonna suck, but can I shoot these down effectively enough?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Fire torpedoes for good effect. Especially at this one ship, ideally. Nah, this is not gonna go well for me now. And that was a cold arm I didn't want to do either.
25% of strategic points.
I still have better firepower than them, I just gotta somehow make it count. Especially since, dang it.
Drink his beer as he dies. Our walls run with blood.
I don't think I'm gonna win this, especially since I'm ramming the wrong ship. I figured for some reason that maybe that would have died. Yeah, not having a beacon there to kind of, and having to brute force my way in was kind of a big deal. In all honesty, maybe that's why I should hang on to the beacon. Or just wait until the beacon recharges, since that would have helped so much there. Since I do need to burn scanner pulses to make sure I'm not randomly flying into his fleet, that's going to require a bit of fine-tuning, but I feel like that still could have been a win for me. It's just, without having to face check, kind of go in the 4,500 range to reveal him. Since I'm kind of committing at that point. But we'll mix it up a bit. We will finally mix up, and hopefully I can go back to Drukhari with probably a different faction. Since that's just going to be all sorts of awkward. It feels like it might be more random a match. Was it? A more random mirror match. Depending on how unlucky you are with detecting. Ooh, you were talking of Tyranids, now we're going to face off against them. Which I know is not what you want, but it's going to happen anyway. Just for you there, Al. Now the big question, are we face off against Pyroacid or not? Since Novacans can be amazing at least forcing them to burn their rushes prematurely there. It's going to be tricky to get them to connect though, because of the convenience of double rushing. Actually, I think I'll salt run with you for now. Maybe you're a bit of an ace in the hole there. To use to maybe catch some ships off guard and reveal them. Especially with the fighters too. My opponent might suspect that, with this layout, I think I want the battleship over here because at least it's lower it's slower turn radius, it's lower mobility. At least it's not going to be a hindrance. And we'll have the frigates go try and spot something ideally. And I do want a beacon. But again, it is that honest question, do I launch the beacon early or not? I'm trying to think of what upgrades I want. Since with a mission with the overcharge, I don't really need disruption bomb all that much now. And 50 seconds. I think I want stronger shields in all honesty. I'm not hearing the roaring, so they're not in tracking senses is all I know.
Rouse the engines.
Which could still mean anything. And hell, I want to watch for that spore bomb. Since there is supposed to be like a visual effect for that, if my opponent took that upgrade or skill.
Receiving your order.
All I know is if I launch a well, that answers that question for me. So I can rest easy knowing that if I listen for how often they rush, I can kind of guess where they are and just how far along they are in the middle of the map. Vaguely. Because after all, their battleships go the same speed as my cruisers, so that's an easy way to kind of tell if they should be in the middle of the map or not. Plus a rush or two to kind of speed up that process.
We are ready to serve.
And I also kind of want fighters to kind of boomerang a bit, because you never know when there should be something over there kind of on the right to grab objectives, and more rushes.
Machine spirit appeased.
So my opponent is rapidly rushing forward.
Calculating vectors.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized
and the beacon's going to pretty well reveal these really easily. It's just a question of what we're up against.
Hostile signature detected.
Oh, well, it's not Pyroacid. We can rest easy there, but I feel bad for our massive claw friend.
Transition begun.
Especially a light cruiser, but the big question, are we going to reveal everything else at the same time or not?
Hostile signature detected.
Lots of massive claws. This is not going to be pretty for our friend. Now this will force a
Hostile
devil rush of
signature
some kind.
detected.
Well, we conveniently spot everything.
Receiving your order. To serve the
I should try and hide these ships. They are massive claws, so I kind of got a lot of breathing room, let's be honest.
We are ready to serve.
But I should have fired an Eye of the Omniscient of some kind too, to
Machine
slow them
spirit
down a bit,
appeased.
and also to focus my fire
Thruster
some.
routines active.
Oh, here comes our Void
Energize
Predator.
vectored thrust.
You're not gonna ram me, I won't
Ready to
allow it.
serve. To serve
Now,
the
I think my
Omnisire
opponent knows how to double rush, or maybe they burnt it already.
with matchless
That's entirely
efficiency.
possible.
Unleash fire cascade.
And yeah, let's
Engage
boost
Chrysalis protocols.
your mobility here, because we are about to group up.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Now, I don't think I fired Novacans, I was tempted
Receiving
to.
your order.
But what I'm going to do instead is slow down the flagship, but this
State
is a
your
mistake.
order.
The Void Prowler ability is going to come back up in a moment.
Receiving your order. Optimal course set.
Can we kill this quickly is the big question, especially if the Massive Claw is gone.
Engaging
Because I'm
drive.
still going to take a lot of boring damage if I'm not careful.
Receiving your order.
Oh, please get in close range.
Engage engine
Because I'm equipped for
readiness.
that too, with this Mechanicus.
Machine spirit appeased. Spirits obey.
Now let's get the hell out of here. I don't have much combustion gauge, let's keep that in mind. Especially with these ships threatening to ram each other.
Calculating vectors. To serve the Omnisire. Rouse
And
the
ideally-
engines.
Oh, I'll bomb you in a moment.
Reroute power
And
to
also
retro
reload might be good
propulsion.
here. And also, let's kill two birds with one stone here. Maybe. I don't know if the Eye of the Omniscient is going to trigger in time. Because they can easily boost past it.
Active.
Because that's the beauty of it, it slows down the rush.
Transition begun.
Not much, but it is an important factor
Receiving your order.
for keeping them at range at arm's
Spirits
length.
obey.
And with your broken claw,
We are ready
I kind of
to
want to
serve.
focus on you.
Holy Omnisire.
And ideally, don't ram myself. Hell, who am I kidding? The battle cruisers don't get
State
that
your order.
synaptic link anymore. That's all hive ships, so really I should be focusing this thing down for that
Optimal
alone.
course set.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Now, all we have to do is do the remaining morale damage to kind of break them, which is already pretty low, since these have minus 75 bravery.
With matchless efficiency.
So switch your targets please and murder the hell out of the leftovers.
Machine spirit appeased.
Hell, I'll do one better.
Calculating vectors.
Ideally without destroying
In rearmament.
my combustion gauge.
Optimal course
Oh, you rammed
set.
yourself. Thank you. I was gonna ram you for that same
Engine
effect.
redlines.
Well, that was simple. I love the potential, how much fun Massive Claws could be, but we know that's a monumental task to try and get damage out of it, due to how close you need to get, damn it. So I feel bad for my poor opponent, because that can be fun. It's just not likely to work is the problem due to the requirements of literally having no range with that claw, and it probably being very likely breaking too. Yeah, Pyracid versus Necrons. Yeah, same kind of effect, isn't it? Although, I feel like I have to play as Pyracid against Necrons, but I feel like they could still do boarding damage, because keep in mind, the Necrons have no shield, so in theory, maybe Lictor Blood, using the 9,000 range to lightning strike while keeping yourself concealed, might help you in doing the troop damage necessary over time. But again, maybe that's asking too much, since as soon as you lightning strike, your opponent knows where you are and they're likely going to just inertialist drive on top of you. But I feel like there's possibility just to kill him through boarding damage, even with Pyracid. It just follows the same kind of rules as it has been with Space Marines, making sure your actual damage weaponry is hitting something you don't plan to board to death, so that way you're not double dipping and gaining no additional benefits. Is my thought process there, but again, I haven't really played as either Necron against Pyracid or Pyracid versus Necron to really know for sure. But that's the beauty of Eye of the Omniscion. Just put it right in front of them, Wraithbone Shift, Rush, anything that isn't inertialist drive basically, or micro warp jump, gets slowed down as well, especially if your opponent's trying to chase you. It is amazing if done right, but I feel like maybe I should aim that a little bit closer, since after all, they could have easily just rushed past it there. But hopefully that was a demonstration of what I meant. But otherwise, I'm tempted to go back to Shukari, but I think we'll give it a little bit of time, because I am also interested in going to Tyranids, but since we just played against Tyranids, I don't think we need that kind of mirror match, which is technically the same thing as Shukari. Just a little more in your face. Actually, I'll play another Mechanicus fleet. Hopefully I gave my opponent some time to face off against someone else, maybe. Wishful thinking, I guess. But I really do want to see if this gets fixed, which is kind of why I want the balance patch to get changed or be put in at this point. Since being able to deny Tyranids especially their shields, let alone their point defense, is a big deal. Maybe not so much for Adeptus Mechanicus after all, since I don't have any torpedoes to really punish that. But otherwise, let's get going. But now, I'm kind of tempted to try Massive Claws myself there. I played it once in my last stream, was it a week and a half, 2 weeks ago maybe? I like to play around with at least figuring out, sure it's probably the most inferior type of playstyle. Dude, again, you need to get in melee range for it to even do anything, with the likeliness of your prow getting destroyed if you can't keep yourself concealed. So it's not likely to work very well. Lord Canar. Alright, let's see how this goes. Are we up against 7 cruisers? Are we against a bunch of grand cruisers? Nobody knows. They are definitely going to be tricky to pin down because of the convenience of them being able to recharge the combustion gauge. So if I'm going to use my Nova cannons at all, it's mainly to be area denial until I destroy some engines. Ideally, if that's at all possible. Do I go with the splitting my fleet in half again or not? I kind of can get away with it, since these 2 cruisers can go here, grab this point, and my battleship can kind of stay near this area and just bombard maybe the center point. Maybe. They do have gas clouds, which is going to be a bit of a burden, trying to reveal them. I don't even know why I have the beacon, alas. Again, with the disruption overcharge, there's no real need for me to have disruption bomb, especially with the ridiculous range I have. So that's kind of what I really dislike about this skill. Since supercharged void shield's kind of pointless, it does greatly minimize disruption bomb as well. Mainly because I have much more range than the disruption bomb anyway, so their shields are likely going to be down before I could do any take advantage of that. But I'm yammering too much, and I'm kind of I'm saying the same thing over and over again, trying to ram that home, which is probably... Huh. 4 battleships? Is that really 4 battleships? Oh, okay. Is this the 4 Apocalypse type fleet again? Maybe?
Receiving your order.
I can launch fighters to find out.
Interceptors engaging.
If they're Apocalypse, then I kind of want to spread out to minimize the damage. And be ready with the encouraging speech, because I am going to take a lot of morale damage if I don't avoid them completely. We do have a frigate of some kind there.
To serve the Omnissiah.
You have seized a strategic area.
Oh, these look like retributions. I do have point defense, but let's see where these are going. Oh.
To serve the Omnissiah.
We'll just take these head on then.
To serve the
Burn all your
Omnissiah.
torpedoes. Ideally, what I would love to do
Rouse
is
the
have
engines.
this frigate kind of shoot some of them down too. Kind of like how the fighters were.
Matchless efficiency.
Now that I think of it, I should have recalled them as they were shooting them, damn it.
Engage engine red
I could have
lines.
got so many more torpedoes shot down that way.
Machine spirit appeased.
Hell. I'm tempted, I'm really tempted, but I think the point defense are up to the task.
We are ready to serve.
The enemy has seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic area. You have seized a strategic
This might hurt a
area.
bit since this is poor placement.
Engage chrysalis protocols. Receiving your order. Reroute power to retro propulsion.
Okay, let's
Transition.
I kind of
begun.
want to go brace for impact to help with this.
Collision protocols active. Receiving your order. Optimal
And
course
right now I'm
set.
currently revealed, so you know they have extended sensors here.
Engage engine red lines. Engaging drive.
Fire all the
Receiving
torpedoes,
your order.
please.
Hostile signature detected. Thruster routines active. We are
Okay.
ready to serve.
I think I aimed that poorly or timed it
Spirits
poorly.
obey.
Especially since I'm not going to shoot down the
Serve
torpedoes
the
to my
Omnissiah.
liking.
Unleash fire cascade. Thruster routines active.
So that's half the torpedo salvos gone.
To serve the Omnissiah. State your order. Optimal course set. Rouse the engines to fury.
Now I gotta prioritize my targets
Target
too, that
on
might help
screens.
some.
We are ready to serve. State your order. Machine spirits nearing
I'll worry about shooting you
dissipation.
later.
Machine spirit appeased. Engaging drive.
Now can I lay down the hurt? Because I'm not doing a good job focusing fire now.
Protocols engaged. To serve the Omnissiah. Optimal course set. We are ready to serve.
That's a lot of damage without a doubt, but I need good prioritization for it to really matter.
Receiving your order.
Because right now,
Transition
Well-
begun.
I can recharge easily enough.
Hostile signature detected. Receiving your order.
And you, what I need to do is make sure you can dodge these shots really well too.
Machine spirit appeased.
I'm waiting for it.
Engage engine red lines.
There.
Hostile signature detected. The spirits obey.
Ram yourself, please. Actually,
State your order.
we can take advantage of some.
To serve the Omnissiah.
I don't have any more combustion gauge though, but stasis bomb's gonna be convenient.
We are ready to
Thankfully, the
serve.
shields took a lot of that damage.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Interceptors engaging.
Can we at least kill another of the
Hostile
ships?
signature detected.
That would be the dream,
Utter
since
the
we haven't really
tentacles of
dealt
battle.
with any of these battleships just yet.
State your order.
Especially with me not actually aiming properly with these
Heal thy
cruisers.
wounded servant. Machine spirit appeased. Reroute power to retro propulsion. State your order.
I want to kill it. I'm not going to get it.
Receiving your order.
And these, none of which are also the flagship. Let's keep that in mind too.
Engage chrysalis protocols with matchless efficiency. Utter the canticles of
So this is going to suck there, because my flagship's gone, without a doubt.
Transition begun. Battle protocols engaged.
But that's still only one Novacan, and your ships are pretty much dead here at the moment. I just gotta kill them off right now.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Since I did a bad job utilizing those ships,
Optimal course set.
now the key thing is to separate.
We are ready to serve. Transition begun. To serve the
And I don't want your
Omnisire
filter tab here.
with matchless efficiency. State your order. Reroute power to retro
Alright,
propulsion.
we could turn evade a little
Machine
bit.
Spirit appeased.
Now my engines are gone completely, so never mind that.
Engaging drive. To serve the Omnisire.
I would love to try and kill this thing off, but
Calculating vectors.
not gonna happen until the engines are gone.
We are ready to serve. With matchless efficiency.
Actually, I still have a Novacan on you, who am I kidding? If this continues to fly away, that helps me
State your
some.
order. Calculating vectors. Reroute power to retro propulsion. The spirits obey. To serve the Omnisire.
It had promise there at first, but then I let them get too close there, alas.
Begun. Engage engine red lines.
You have accumulated 50%
But
of strategic
there's still
points.
promise if... Let's see, what's your...
Machine spirit appeased. Odds of survival.
Still need the critical hits, which are not going to happen, alas.
Purge suspect pathways.
Maybe I should have gone after a flagship, because I kind of neglected going after or getting the Colexus Assassin as well, which would have been really nice too. Because right now, I don't have any really... Even if the shields are down, I'm going to be taking so long to actually kill off these ships.
Receiving your order. Optimal course set. Engage engine.
Since I need
red
to rely
lines.
heavily on critical hits or just grabbing objectives, which I could have been doing as well.
Receiving your order. With matchless efficiency. Rouse the engines to fury.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Ah, well. It had promise at the start. Again,
Machine spirit
should have had my
anticipation.
frigates just grab all the points behind them. I actually could have gotten away with that in all seriousness. Since it had really promising start, I just relied more on stalling, I guess, with the Omniscience, which works well. Well, actually it worked pretty well at the start, because I got the full Rad Tempest and a couple of Novacans on the battleship and the one Overlord, was it? So it was a decent start. So maybe I should have gone with the Colexus Assassin as opposed to Armor. That was a bit of a mistake. Since I could have easily followed it up with some heavy morale damage to well, I would have to kill off some of the crew first on one of the other ships to really make that worthwhile, or ideally destroy the deck. And hell, we didn't really destroy any of the engine components to really justify any components game, or at least any strategy that relies on destroying a component. But now, let's see about going back to Drakari, maybe. See if I can get away with it. Going once. Going twice. Don't leave us in suspense. I was hoping to time that out properly. And no. Well, it's as close to a mirror match as you probably can get. This is going to be weird. Now, the big question. Do I go kamikaze route? And by that I mean the ramming blades, which were actually nerfed. But I definitely want disruption overcharge or spear crystal lenses. I'm trying to think what they're likely to be fielding. If they have 2 Void Stalkers, I just have better strength and better durability than them. But I don't know realistically what other type of fleets to expect. If I were to be serious. I don't expect to hit very well with torpedoes unless it's a Void Stalker. And King Crude batteries would be amazing since I don't have a holo field to worry about. That's the one benefit of being Drukhari in this type of matchup. They have to keep moving if they want to get the best durability possible. I don't have to. But I do still want to have my lock tracking senses to try and get some free damage in early. For the extended lance range and of course double damage to said lances. As stupid as I may sound considering I'm talking about holo field. And I think concealment is the most important thing I could do too. It's going to be really difficult to do, with that said. Since I don't think I'm going to get that shadow field charged up properly to what I'm liking. And I need a beacon too. This is probably the best I could ask for. Maybe.
What is your wish?
The only ones that are visible are the cruisers, which I'm okay with for now. Although that's a bit of a mistake, isn't it? A bit of a mistake. Because I would have to launch a beacon anyway. So, okay, they technically got their shadow field up before game reveal, but a keen-eyed opponent could have seen that. If they were paying attention enough. So that looks like a cruiser of some kind, maybe.
You have seized a strategic
Oh god
area.
damn it! This is, and there's a bit of
The enemy
latency as
has
well
seized
too.
a strategic area.
And also I need to separate these ships. I gotta stop grouping the frigates together, because that's gonna be a bit of a burden. But I do need some assurances that I can grab this objective quickly. Especially with this beacon about to stop and possibly reveal.
We shall flay them all.
It goes without saying though, I do need to protect my ships too. So it's going to be tricky to grab objectives.
We bring death.
And without relying on a frigate at least.
Agreed. How may I serve?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I don't like this, but I want to believe that my beacon is going to help prevent any aggression on my battleship. Having to boost forward like I just did.
What aids the cabal?
We know where the flagship is.
Fear our onset.
You have seized a strategic area.
The cabal is all. If it please.
Now all I need to do is avoid this. Okay,
The cabal
well,
is all.
that's the best I could ask for there. That is what I seriously wanted.
What aids the cabal? Agreed.
That was, damn it, that was a big mistake there. I just cost myself there quite immensely.
What's your wish? If it please you.
But I do have ramming blades.
How may I serve?
Now, just kill the biggest threat. Especially with the latency, no less.
What is your wish? The engines scream.
This is going to be messy.
But the Void Stalker's gone.
Aids the cabal.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
And so long as it can keep shooting, that's the main thing that I care about. Because you panicked first, that means free damage for me.
We'll scream our praises.
I just gotta kill this off, though, first.
The cabal is all. We bring death.
You have
This latency really sucks, but I'm hoping that didn't mess with my torpedoes, maybe? Well, this is an anticlimactic battle in a hurry. Because that, mainly due to that damn latency. I told you I could win a brute force match against Devil Void Stalker, even with that abysmal engagement. That kind of emphasizes my point. And you just went extended range. Which, oh, it's a newer opponent, so I can't take that match too seriously anyway, damn it. But still, Devil Void Stalker is a kind of common fleet, I find. So it's probably as good as I could ask for. But still, all these matches with Drukhari are ended up the same, aren't they? Too damn short, and nothing but Shadow Wars. How do we mix it up? I kind of am tempted to go with my Seeker Missile battleship fleet here. At least a different kind of Seeker Missile reliance anyway, with the broadside fire. And it has good longevity too with the 4 charges, so maybe I'll play around with that some. I'm just trying to think. Let's see, a Mission Dissipator kind of useful, but we'll see what we're up against. We'll just see what we're up against if we get our same Corsair opponent, which might stink due to the latency problem we had there. There we go. At least we're not having a mirror match as before. Well, the multiplayer, well, Tyndall's have been patching it pretty decently. I liked a lot of the changes they made. The only downside with the balance patches is we're waiting like a full month or so, when there are a lot of bugs currently need to be fixed up. I don't know how the player base feels, because it is kind of a niche market a little bit, with the real-time strategy at this point kind of not being the most popular type of thing unless you're playing StarCraft 2, or something that's just a lot very niche, kind of like Battlefield Gothic is at this point. At least it'll probably appeal to less players, but I really do enjoy how it feels and how it plays out at least. No. Oh, I thought I grouped you 3. Let's fix that. And I gotta remember, since I have Repair Drone, I kind of still want to be grouped up. Hell, I'm playing against Drukhari, I should be grouping up anyway. Oh, I forgot 2 of my groups. That explains it. Stupid me. Since I want to grab these objectives quickly and I have a Mission Dissipator.
At your orders.
Now that was a bit of a sloppy start, but hey. I don't think I'm at too much of a risk, especially with battleships. I just need to somehow reveal them for Seeker Missiles to really stick.
At your orders, Koro.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized
And where's the beacon going?
area.
Since I don't know why there's a beacon exactly, if I were to be honest, but it's there nonetheless.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Actually, who am I kidding? I can launch fighters, but they're going to be short-lived.
You have seized a strategic area.
Korel, ready.
So long as I can get some free damage in, that might be the only reason I do this.
Honor the teachings
Since
of
keeping those
the
fighters around to prolong how much time I have to keep vision on them is going to be important.
Korel, ready.
And ideally, I want to keep these frigates from getting shot down too.
At your orders, Korel.
Since my opponent can hear these going off, after all.
Wish.
So let's group everything up. Oh, that was convenient of you. You do have brace for impact, but I do want to experiment with the idea of maybe shooting down the generator. I did mark that, right? Yeah. I believe I marked that. And these are with the impalers, let's keep that in mind too. This is an important factor to note. Oh, damn it, I thought I scanner pulsed them. That was a huge waste of my
Follow
cooldowns.
the teachings of Yola. Aircraft ready for orders.
It's not a huge issue just yet, but still. That is definitely going to be felt.
Gravitic drive engaged.
But the beacon helps a lot. Well, that's their beacon, let's be honest.
How may I serve the tower?
And I did not prioritize components on you, which is a bit of a failing there. An experimental railgun. Let's try and hit with this too.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Barracuda shoals launched.
The enemy has
Now,
seized
gotta
a
keep in mind,
strategic
these seeker
area.
missiles are probably not going to work very well.
That cannot be done, Goro.
Please tell me those seeker missiles are still
How may I
going
serve
after
the
them.
Tauvar?
Well, engine critical hit, that's pretty damn good.
The Tauvar shall prosper.
I think it's safe to say that ship's dead. Because it's scanner pulse, it has no fighters because you're relying on impalers. And you just launched the impalers on this, okay. I have fighters available though,
Tauvar shall
to
prosper.
easily counteract that.
We serve the Kovatra.
As the ethereals wish.
Now,
Maneuvering thrusters engaged.
let's try and do some damage, because one of these battleships are gone, that's a big deal still.
Corel ready.
In fact, I could start spraying out.
The ethereals guide us.
Kind of. Because the impalers are getting shot down quickly, and we know where the second half portion of their fleet is.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
For Onva, it
Just
will
spread
be
out and
so.
grab the objectives behind them.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
At your orders, Goro.
I am going to get a beacon stuck on me, but I think that's a small price to pay.
Of Viola.
The enemy
Since
has
I can just grab
accumulated
this,
25%
boost on out
of
quickly.
strategic points. You have seized a strategic area.
Let's see.
Aircraft
Now.
ready for orders.
This is going to be awkward because of seeker missiles again.
Ready.
Barracuda shoals launched.
They are revealed, but that's going to be short-lived.
Aircraft ready for orders.
Gravitic drive engaged. Aircraft ready for orders.
Gravitic drive
So just
engaged.
grab the objectives, do what you can there. Hopefully fighters can protect from impalers some, but I don't see
We
impalers.
serve the Kovatra.
They're just going to be concealed at a bad time. Oh, never mind. Fighters got
You have
vision.
accumulated
It's just sadly
25% of
poorly
strategic
timed.
points.
Seeker missiles are getting shot down, not the fighters.
How may I serve the tower?
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Oh, no, the beacon didn't stick onto me. That's pretty good.
It will be so.
I can live with that.
To spread the greater good.
Okay, we got a hit there at least.
As the ethereals wish. Aircraft ready for orders.
Come on. Come after my impaler. Or
Maneuvering thrusters engaged.
just gotta dodge these seeker missiles. My own seeker missiles, no less. Damn it, that was not what I want.
You have seized a strategic area.
At your orders, Koro.
Just gotta be careful. This is likely gonna get revealed pretty quickly, but
How may I serve the tower? Tauvar shall prosper. Barracuda shoals
more
launched.
fighters, more fighters.
The ethereals guide us.
Especially dealing with their frigates would be
Enemy
pretty
is
nice.
seizing one of your strategic areas.
There we go.
Serve the Kovatra.
Impalers are gone. We just gotta keep
The
my
enemy
frigates
has
alive with that
seized a
said.
strategic area.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Easier said than done, as I only have, well, I have two frigates now. One of which is here, hidden.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Ooh, there's the flagship too. If only I had sought to maybe launch more fighters and harass it more.
How may I serve the Tauvar?
Because as it stands now, those fighters are gonna be gone, yeah.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic points.
But we can grab objectives. Let's get these going. We need the fission now at this point. Your impalers are not going to do a whole lot here.
Gravitic drive engaged. Barracuda drones launched.
Gravitic drive to max.
Fighters, intercept. You know what to do. Thank you. Now ram the hell out of them. Which is something you should not be doing because Tau Abhor do not like that tactic of ramming and getting physical.
The patient hunter
But
gets
it's
the
the
prey.
right choice here. I just want to hit with experimental railgun as well, with that said. Now I gotta make sure I'm firing the right seeker missiles. Because the battleships would be a bad choice right now.
Crisis teams boarding enemy ship.
Yeah, let's finish off your flagship, shall we?
Seized a strategic area.
Oh, you're just gonna have a mutiny. That I'm fine with too. Ah, I missed the scanner pulse. If only I'd done that sooner.
Corel, ready.
So what's probably going to happen here is maybe my opponent's going to try and snipe this one ship here. And I should recall my fighters. Oh, never mind.
An enemy target.
At least that was a real match. Due to the fact that I kind of did not have a beacon. I knew my opponent was going to go Impaler, so I figure I could have replaced the repair drones for something that could have helped me with vision there. Namely, the beacon. So, that was still fun though, nonetheless. Really awkward with the battleships, needless to say. But I really like the potential of the longevity they have. 4 charges, a lot of seeker missiles, let alone a lot of fighters. Even if it's not quite custodian's worth of fighters, it still does what it needs to protect the seeker missiles from getting shot down. When done properly, of course, which I was not doing, to an extent. Now, I would like to play more with the Tau fleet if I were to be honest. At least try and get used to its control. But I think one thing I've been lacking in doing for a while is the dang auxiliary ships. Playing with the War Spears and the Demiurge. Which might be something fun, but actually, let's try one more with this fleet. I think I'm going to save the auxiliaries for a YouTube video, a dedicated YouTube video if I were to be honest. I'm going to go back into, what is it, the 1 Explorer with the War Spear and maybe 2 Bastions. Although, I don't know how effective the Bastions are now since they rely so heavily on ambushing your opponent. Which, without a doubt, is damn difficult to do. Especially since you need to also get to an asteroid belt to charge up your beam. So easier said than done in comparison to Armada 1 where all the Tau ships could be equipped with a shroud effect at the start of the battle, technically. It was a bit brutal, especially with the Bastions which have good speed for chasing down their opponent too. And they also benefit from the additional movement speed upgrade as well. Which may be kind of needed. Kind of. I need to play with him more to know for certain though. Now, is it the same opponent or not? Same opponent, different opponent? Who are we getting this time around? Okay, we're getting liberal. Now, the big question. 5 Novacans or... well, I think we know without a doubt it's 5 Novacans. The big question is are they gonna forfeit the frigates? Not that that's really a big deal, I suppose, since I'm gonna be visible at all times. And I'm also kind of slow, which is gonna be a bit of a burden as well, trying to avoid the said Novacan shots. And I only have 200 shields, so I am not the best equipped for dealing with Novacans. It goes without saying. But these ships can easily grab objectives at least for me. Just sit them on the side and grab some objectives. I don't know how practical I should expect them to be in damage firepower wise though. And the big question therein will be, well, I kind of already can suspect that my opponent is going to use the Kulex's assassin type round, was it disruption bomb? Or at least you would probably. How do you best prepare for this matchup though? I honestly don't know what our upgrades to get, since I'm probably going to be stuck in the thick of it pretty damn quickly. But if I can hit with Seeker Missiles, I'm in good shape for later on. Ultimately, I guess what I could do is just spread out as much as I can and make it difficult to get hit by multiple Nova cannons.
To spread the greater good.
I think really is all I could do.
Identified an enemy target.
So battleship, there is a frigate. Additional shields.
How may I serve the tower? Honor the teachings of Yola.
Core L ready.
You know, I'm just gonna see about identifying this because it's nowhere near a gas cloud to kind of conceal self.
Spread the greater good.
I'm sure my opponent's gonna try and protect it, or at least drastically move its position afterwards. There is also a frigate around. I'm doing a bad job moving my own frigate. Not there's a whole lot they can do. Not yet anyway. But at least this one gas cloud helps protect my flagship.
Barracuda shoals launched.
The enemy has seized a strategic area. You have seized a strategic area.
Now we'll see how well this works. I'm gonna commit to this. I'm on the edge of it, no, regardless.
Have identified an enemy target. Calculating new
I want you to
vector.
turn. I want you to turn the other way. There we go.
Will be slow. At your orders, Koro.
Now, experimental railgun.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Nowhere near close, but I have fighters spotting.
We serve the Korvatra.
For Anvar, it will be so.
And I have multiple other fighter squadrons reaching, so I should be okay there for
At
now.
your orders, Koro.
Gravitic drive engaged.
Drones
It remains to be
have
seen how this
identified
works
enemy
out, but hey.
As the heroes wish.
There's the hit I want.
How may I serve the Tauva?
For now, at least.
To spread the greater good.
Okay, fighters are still taking the hits. This is pretty good. Engine permanently gone,
You
too.
have seized a strategic
Maybe I should have
area.
gone for something a bit different, but that works. And the Nova can's temporarily destroyed, which don't mean much.
Closing on your position. Aircast ready for orders.
Barracuda shoals launched. Aircast ready for orders.
Nah, that was bad awareness
Closing
there on my
your
part.
position. For Onva, it will be so.
Trying to get my Seeker Missiles off, and of course that's not going to pay off well, is it?
Corel.
Especially with these crappy shots, too.
How may I serve the Tauva?
But you burnt basically everything there,
Gravitic drive engaged.
and your point defense are not going to mean much when your ship gets destroyed.
The ethereals guide us.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I don't know what the battleship's condition is, though, just yet.
The
And I still have
Tauva
shields,
shall
so I could take
prosper.
this one hit pretty well.
At your orders, Koro.
I just don't have any combustion gauge yet, though.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
We serve the Kovadra. Honor the teachings of Viola.
We serve the Corvacha.
So that is all sorts of screwed right now, but
Maneuvering thrusters.
this is why it's really tricky for me to switch this around.
As the ethereals wish. Calculating new vector.
One down.
Gravitic drive engaged.
Dodge all the shots there, ideally.
Bombing run underway.
Oh, never mind. Oh my. That wasn't all that exciting, I suppose. Although, this is where I love having a single carrier ship. Since imagine how much of that, how much more easier it would be to deny the seeker missiles, at least on the battleship, if there was a single dictator in there just to draw the fighters away, considering the amount of time it took. It would have helped at least, especially since the battleship can't conveniently dodge there, so it definitely would make a difference there. I just don't know how much of the seeker missiles would have hit, and I honestly was not paying attention if Brace for Impact was available on everything as well. And hell, let's not forget about Stasis Bomb. That's the most important factor. Stasis Bomb could just freeze everything in place. Maybe not all that exciting there, but it at least gives more time, if nothing else. There's a lot of little minor things that could have been done to help with that. I want to think anyway. But since I rely exclusively on the seeker missiles, they would have to do damage at some point, you would think. Despite the best intentions, despite the best efforts. I want to argue at least. Anyways. I think I'm satisfied with Tau for now. I'm just wondering, I'm really feeling the itch to play some more, Devour, was it? Infestation Tyranids? Hell, I've been talking about the Crushing Claws too. I want to play with them as well. I could delete that fleet, didn't I? Damn it. I may have to go back to that. Because Boarding Overload, I can't remember what you are. You're not my, Pyro Assets. Oh, you're all torpedoes, which might be interesting to try, but I'm gonna have to remake my Massive Claw fleet, because this one I know is Bioplasma, with a couple of Void Prowlers for Crushing Claws, which I could probably cut down on, or upgrade to something bigger in all seriousness. Just don't quite have the points, although I take that back. Now we have the points. More Bioplasma. That would be actually interesting to try out some more. Probably not a very practical fleet with how prominent Pyro Acid is. But we'll start with that. Then I'll jump back into my Tentacle fleet to start getting a feel for it. Yeah, what do I want? Anything that ignores armor, ideally, or ignores the shields. So maybe Wrecking Bomb? It doesn't say ignores armors, so I don't think this is going to be as impactful as it could be. Otherwise, Synaptic Relay, and I like my Chemionic skin, especially if they get detected. So we'll see how this goes. Otherwise, we're getting opponents now, but is it the same person? Is it Liberus? Or I forget his name, damn it. Well, I shouldn't speak too soon. I don't know who my opponent is just yet. Ooh, Chaos. I don't know what to expect here. Lances are slow and steady, and they don't have Disruption Overcharge to kind of negate my shields as well. But at the same time, they can, at least to an extent, outrun me. Especially since most of my frigates are the slowest damn thing in the game, for crying out loud. They go 120 speed, so I don't expect much out of them. Otherwise, Tracking Senses extends the range of the lances. Do I want to increase the range further? On my flagship is what I'm thinking. Well, I like chameleonic skin, I just don't think it's practical here. Maybe. I'll just go with the extended range for now. Should be a little more convenient. It's been so long since I played Tyranids, let alone the Bioplasma Tyranid. So the flagship will hang back and try to do damage. And then we'll have the other ones just grab what it can. Actually, let me group these up properly, that might help some. There we go. I was trying to have the hive ships grouped up in their own separate thing. Now, what does this look like? I want to say they're slaughters. Oh no, they're all Grand Cruisers. With, interestingly enough, demonic infestation. So unfortunately, this is a lot of health I'm going to have to get through. I don't think I can win this match through brute force. But I do have the range. I do have Void Prowler to kind of bait them. But with so many Grand Cruisers, they're definitely going to get the objectives quickly. And apparently I have some rushes as well. Which doesn't mean anything, because I don't know if my opponent can hear those rushes or not. So it's safer not to take advantage of that. And instead let the drones serve as the bait.
The enemy
In all
has
honesty,
seized a strategic area.
I kind of want to hit the fleets when they're isolated. When am I realistically going to be able to jump, though? Because I'm going to have to act quickly, nonetheless. If I'm going to do anything at all. And I got to keep in mind, you have extended range, so... When are you going to do work?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
And you are also the flagship. Let's make note of that. And how much boarding can I do total? 18 troop damage. So if all three of the battleships can board one Grand Cruiser, that is pretty much dead. So I gotta keep that in mind as far as maximizing my boarding, since I don't have any other boarding aside for the assault action itself.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Oh yeah, and I gotta remember, since I have no vanguards, I can't focus targets the way I like anyway. So this is going to be a bit awkward because placement positioning is going to be so damn important to help mitigate that. I apologize.
The enemy has seized
noisy.
a strategic area.
I am doing a crap ton of damage because apparently my opponent has no frigates? Question mark? Well, this is not going to be exciting if you can't just reveal my ships. Well, that was not what I want. I was kind of going to jump in there and deny them vision. I'm not quite going to get that, am I? I can slow him down at least, which helps a lot, because one of your Grand Cruisers, surprisingly, is about to die. Damn it, that was poorly. I want to rush you in there. Is what I would have liked to done. Now let's board, like I hinted at already. And kill this one off, because they know what the flagship is, alas, but... Can I board? I think that might take too long. Nope. We got the boarding damage we want. The Grand Cruiser there is gone, but you're doing a bad job contributing. Yeah, and this is a bit of the problem. Never mind the fact that you're group ordering again. The fleet is isolated at least, so there is always that. Yeah, your crews. Damn it.
The
Are you
enemy
still
has
group ordered?
accumulated 25%
You're
of
not doing me any
strategic
favors.
points.
But yeah, that ship's now completely gone until the flagship joins in. So now I gotta... I think what I need to do to effectively hit the target I want is just my facing. Because this is taking more damage that's not really needed, in all honesty. Nope, Grand Cruisers are coming in now. I know how to deal with this. And maybe I could do it properly this time. I kind of want to ram you. But let's just get you going. Explode the drones. Explode the drones, do some damage. Nope, that was not what I wanted to do. But you can hide yourself. No, never mind. I take that back. I don't have the chameleonic skin anymore. But now you can, now that one of my brethren just conveniently suicided for me. Oh, more group wars, really? Not a big deal just yet. And I'm nowhere near the disruption bomb. At least for my flagships. Now I just gotta get myself turned around. Since half the fleet's gone for a handful of my frigates, which isn't terrible, I just have no actual score, now that I realize it. So I need to actually do the killing blow. Yep, your engine's gone. Everything's good here. Just get your free damage in. I kind of want to board you, but you're the only thing that's going to get shot in all seriousness. Let me just board the flagship with that said. And ideally focus on something else. Because that is dead. I have a wrecking ball. You're boarding me. That's not going to help, I'm afraid to say.
The enemy has accumulated
That is not going to help.
of strategic points.
I'm just... Can I at least get two of these things shooting? Oh, never mind. Let me try and kill this thing off quickly. Why? Okay, I was wondering why my wrecking ball wouldn't hit. And it didn't really do any damage. I think it did around 200 points of damage, so it doesn't ignore armor. No, I can't really say that was a success, since my opponent had no vision at all, in all seriousness. So, I didn't really gain much on the effectiveness of the bioplasma. Against Chaos, unless they're slaughters or point-blank range type of macro cannons, they're gonna be killing me slow and steady anyway, so I don't think that was a big loss. Or it still probably would have played out in the same vein. I think so anyway. Oh well. Let's get our strangled tentacles going. Don't think I like the wrecking ball. I thought maybe it was fixed or changed to ignore armor, but I was wrong. So let's do something that is effective, or at least has the potential to be effective. Although, I need to figure out what I want to, if I want to change this out for like an infestation type of Razor Fiend. Is that what it is? Yeah. I might have to experiment with that. Although getting rid of two frigates doesn't really give me the points I want. No, not quite. So, we'll stick with that for the time being. But chameleonic skin is definitely in. I would like to increase my shield regeneration, but it depends what we're up against. And other than that, I don't know what kind of upgrades would be good, since I'm never going to take the shields down for a Lictor Brood. Only thing I can really think of would be the faster regeneration there on my components. Let's get back to good old-fashioned Tyranids. The fleet that I've been experimenting with ever since its release. And still trying to figure it out. Although with the sporadic, how sporadically I play it, aside for the one focus, or the 1 week that I focused on it, it has been hit or miss there on how well I've been playing it. But I enjoy the fleet nonetheless, it's a good time. Alright, we got a match. We're facing off against Inquisitor Darkhammer. I don't recognize the name New Lord though. So probably another newer player, which I'm gonna feel bad for them for how this might turn out. Because their crew's gonna start vanishing and they're gonna wonder why. Although come to think of it, there is one thing I've been consistently forgetting to do as Tyranids, and it's very unique to them. I've been forgetting to recharge my my ordnance, my torpedoes. That could have been helpful for some of my YouTube matches I did way back when with Tyranids. Having more boarding parties, more torpedoes, it would have been really nice there to do. Otherwise, you two are grouped together. I gotta remember I have drones. So they're gonna do what drones normally do. Just lag behind and grab the points. And otherwise, you, Kraken Squad, you know what to do. You, ideally, will kill the frigates for me. Maybe. If I'm lucky enough. And actually, let me switch these skills, so that way I'm hitting the right hotkey when I want to activate these cursed abilities. There we go. I think we're ready, although I did not set a group 4, did I? There we go, that's better. Problem solved. Now what are we up against here? 4 contacts, don't mean much just yet. There's not much point destroying the deck in all honesty, because I don't have Psychic Scream to really punish that. Since boarding damage by itself is not all that significant on morale. You need fire assaults for that to really do any good morale damage. Okay, that has an audio cue, that's all I know there. We're still seeing 4 ships, which could mean anything. Battleships, battlecruisers. I haven't had, well, I already had lunch there. I had lunch like an hour before my streaming there, but I don't mind appetizers, especially Imperial Navy appetizers. Or, well, dessert, I suppose. Appetizers are supposed to be before the actual meal. But Tyranids don't know anything about manners and common courtesy anyway. Who are we kidding? They'll take what they please. And in this case, I'm feeling the need for some Imperial Navy. And I'm suspecting we're dealing with 4 battleships, maybe. Unless they have a good handful of Hitton frigates and light cruisers. But the idea is to take this slow and steady, never to leave my cruisers in the back so it's almost impossible for them to get revealed. Almost. Although if I don't start scanner pulsing myself, that makes it tricky to kind of prevent that. Oh, I heard a beacon.
The enemy has seized a strategic
So I'm going
area.
to conveniently dodge that
The enemy
there.
has seized a strategic area.
You guys are still moving. Slow and steady. I think my Krakens do need to move though. Yep, they're gonna get revealed. So if my opponent is listening for that, then they know there's something there, which could be a good bait. Could be. Since they kinda know these are just simple frigates. Nothing too exciting there. Oh. This is gonna suck. I might as well launch it out. But that tells us what we're up against, maybe. I want to say 4 apocalypses. And we know there's a frigate around of some kind. The trick is revealing it somehow.
A strategic area.
So that way it can remove it from the equation. Oh, that answers that. Okay, 3 frigates, like... They're all over there, that's all I know. Ooh, and conveniently we found the flagship. Now we're just gonna have to murder this. I would kind of like, when I burn retros, to have it not turn off my ability as well.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
But they're Scanner Pulse, but they're also Krakens. That's not all that exciting. The Krakens can take those hits incredibly well, especially the macro can shots. I just, again, wish there was a hotkey for this. Because I think these 2 Krakens can easily just deal with the boring damage really well. Well, my opponent is using Cold Arms, but that means you don't have it for later. And Nursery, actually, let's have some fun with boarding torpedoes. Let's actually use these cursed things outside of point-blank range. Because in theory, these should be used at range, at a distance. Oh god, they interrupted each other's ram attempt. Yes, all the boarding! Oh, I forgot to hold fire. That was giving away my position a bit. Oh, you're still holding fire. Or you doing Cold Arms. I can respect the man who forgets their Cold Arms. But if they left it on purpose, that would probably be a smart choice, maybe. If I were to be serious. But I'm willing to believe it was just forgotten. Because ideally, I want to kind of bait out the Cold Arms and then just force them to, and just wait for them to turn off, essentially. Ideally. Nah, actually, let me just grab that point. They're kind of ignoring me right now. And I've kind of been forgetting my Spore Mines, which is kind of okay. Kind of.
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
You're not really all that powerful and close anyway, if I were to be serious. I just need a hit with torpedoes. I have the shields for this. I'm willing to take this head on. Although you had to stop at inconvenient time. Now let's continue the boarding, and you can't say no to this. Oh, okay, your ships are being Cold Armed to death. So this is good for me. Keep the boarding going. Although I did that wrong. It was supposed to be 1 boarding party or 2 boarding parties and 1 fighter squadron. I did that backwards, and immediately as a result, they got shot down. Eat all the crew. I don't have really any shields to kind of properly devour them, but we're in good shape here still. I just gotta keep boring them. Actually, let me stop holding fire. Not that I realistically expect my Pyro Acid to do anything.
You have seized
it would be kind of nice. Do I seriously bore with you? Everything's called to arms and everything's already being eaten to death. I just gotta wait for the damn things to die already. Is what it comes down to. I want to launch fighters. It's not making it easy for me. Okay. I can rest easy now, I
You
guess,
have
maybe.
accumulated
I don't know what to think of
25%
that
the
match.
strategic points.
That was just a weird match in general. All I had to do was go in there, board them, and then just wait for them to die, it seemed like. Since there was no real risk of me getting destroyed in close, since they didn't have spurs, well, they could ram me, I guess. There's always a possibility, but that's not a huge risk, you would think, with Void Prowler or Void Lurker rather. And just always having my rush available. I don't know what to say there. Since it was a brand new fleet, I kind of would like them to have... I don't know. I would have liked them to have a good time there, especially since their fleet name was just fun after all. It's hard to have fun when my entire fleet is all about stealth mechanics there, and being hidden all the time. A little tricky there to do that, I think, maybe. Otherwise, I kind of want to play this fleet again, though, if I were to be serious. That hasn't saved my appetite. Not quite yet. I just hate to ruin that player's day. That's what I hate most, especially with face-off against potentially new players, is that I'm just discouraging them from playing multiplayer, since they can't get a 2v2 or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to be a bit creative how to make it tense and enjoyable for them somehow. Last man timer. I remember fighting you before, I just can't remember when and what kind of fleet you have. So, I'm just gonna eat your fleet instead. And we'll see if I recognize the taste or not. The nice metallic taste of the ships. Otherwise, not much else to say, I suppose. Since I guess I'm starting to get a little fatigued now. We definitely broke past the 2-hour mark, and this is kind of out of my comfort zone a little bit. But I'm happy to at least get some more streaming in. At least a longer stream to make up for my lack of videos the past few days. So that's the one thing I'm thankful for, but definitely losing a little bit of energy might hurt the stream quality a bit as a result. So let's just focus on the straight brutality, I guess. It's the only way I can correct that. We're gonna eat everything, and we'll see how this goes. I don't want my fleet too clumped up together, that's always a risk. Since I am eventually going to get revealed by scanner pulses, it goes without saying. Especially my cruisers and flagship. But the flagship, at least, with the Void Lurker and the potential of double rushing, can easily disengage and bait them after it. Cruisers, I feel like they're kind of dead if they ever get detected preemptively, without really being able to do any of the boring damage I want. But at the same time, it's also really tricky to hit with these torpedoes too, since, sure, I may have done some long-range torpedo fire in that last match, but it's not like that's going to work all the time. They have so much time to just avoid me. So I don't expect it to work very well, especially since it does reveal me, which is the big penalty of that, if they don't connect. Otherwise, 6 ships, 6 Dominators maybe. 6 Dominators are definitely scary, if that's the case. And actually, let me remember to hold fire, since I don't want these things preemptively revealing themselves with weapons that don't actually help me. Unless you have Pyracid, or Bioplasma rather, which even then Bioplasma is not all that helpful either, if I were to be serious. In theory. I'm only really relying on them after I eat the crew to kind of start soften them up and dissolve the ship, as it were. As funny as it sounds, my main weapon for doing damage is actually my shields. It's a little hard to do that, though, with everyone being encouraged to use Disruption Overcharge, though. And I don't know why I'm avoiding the asteroid belts, since I am kind of immune to that after all. Oops, scanner pulses. My opponent is worried. Worried I may be rushing forward, or... I don't know what my opponent's thinking, in all honesty. I have not been listening for a mission dissipator, though, so it's impossible for me to know if they're in the middle of the map or not, but that scanner pulse tells me they're over here somewhere in the area. And now to converge. Oh, ramming damage? Okay, I was wondering what that flashing red light was, dang it.
You have seized a strategic area.
I don't know if my opponent heard that or not, but it's a good opportunity to try and jump him. I just need, what, 4 boarding assaults to kill that off, and that may have given it away. Nope, my opponent's not going to notice in time. And they already burnt their scanner. Come on, one more boring action. There we go.
The enemy has seized a strategic area. You have seized a
that should kill off.
Area.
Of course they can reactivate, but those 2 fire assaults almost kill it immediately. And I'll let the drones do their thing. Just gotta take my time and get ready. Since, like I said again, if I get revealed too preemptively, I could be in a world of trouble. I should also start dropping some spore fields, especially for my cruisers here. Since they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere to get hit in. And this will prompt something out of them. And they reactivate the frigate, which is fine. That just means I can just deal with that again. Potentially. Although, there is the subtle negative effect of this giving away maybe part of my position, just because of its placement. And as soon as I scanner pulse, they're going to scanner pulse as well, so I don't think I want to do that, if at all possible. Even if I do reveal them. Just barely out of reach, too. Oh, you repaired, so you don't even actually have your scanner pulse. Oh, I had shields. I could have absorbed that shot. But we're getting a bit of an idea of what they're fielding. So we destroyed a bunch of point defense. That's not helpful. And I think that's your only frigate. And you hit a Kraken, which thankfully is going to regenerate most of its health. And I'm ramming myself again, aren't I? Damn it. I might lose this match just because of ramming myself constantly. Oh, we actually get to see what you are now, an Oberon. Oberon. I did not place anything there. Well, that was weird. I have no idea what to say about that. But let's continue to torment our prey. Because we're about to in a moment with 3 of these. Yes, you see me, but that's not going to do you much good now. At the moment. Actually, let's get ready for our time in the spotlight. Brace for impact. Let's see. I did all the boring damage necessary. So just get them out. Oh, damn it. I didn't want you to ram yourself, but it is what it is, I guess. Actually, let me get the battleship to kind of board that, because we're going to be boarding on multiple fronts in a moment. Actually, I should board in multiple fronts. Going to be tricky to board with my boring torpedoes, though. That should be good boring damage there for now. Ah, dang it, you're just not close enough. I was hoping to do some strangle tentacling. But as it stands now, I'm going to have to rely on my Krakens, maybe? Nope. They almost rammed themselves again, but that's a lot of boring damage. No! I could have recharged the... I could have used the adrenal glands, but that's not a big loss at the moment. Most of their health's going to regenerate.
The enemy has accumulated.
They're going to be hit in a moment once they're out of reach.
Points.
You finally see the flagship. It's too little too late, though. Now let's just kill off these ships and be mindful this thing might explode on me without my knowing. Since we just witnessed earlier the fact that you can, on occasion, see the self-destruction going on, the scuttle effect. Now, can I grab this objective finally? I actually can, but I'm worried about a scuttle against my cruiser, but to be fair, with full shields I should in theory be okay. Actually, let's just eat it. Get the shields to dissolve it some. Since I don't... This doesn't really give away my ships all that much, but that bomber sure as hell will. And you are regenerating your health really well. Yeah, it took a little bit of damage, but not a big deal yet. Yes, everyone out. Starting to notice a little bit of frame latency, though. Yep, I'm not paying attention to what's going on here. We're into the fighting now, folks. I think my opponent's had enough, so let's give him what he wants. Although rushing with torpedoes is really awkward. Needless to say. More torpedoes, more boarding. And ideally have these guys just board the hell out of these ships. Actually, let's board the one back here. That's a little more closer. And you are just going to lose your entire crew. It goes without saying. So that's reactivate. We can easily fix that. The one main benefit of the light cruisers, it's very low cost for deactivating ships. And that crew's gone. So what's left? Not a whole lot, in all honesty. And actually, let me regenerate my charges since I'm probably getting low. Ah, if only they had done that a moment earlier. And I gotta be mindful my flagship's about to get bored to death too. Or rammed to death, so I want to take advantage of that. Actually, they're in a sport field. I'm in no risk. I could just sit here and wait until the shields go down, basically. I don't know if those torpedoes actually aimed them where I wanted them to go, though. Yes, board, unload everything, even if it'll do very little. And now, 5 seconds till my strangle tentacles come back up, or at least the one squad here that's almost dead. So I think that thing is dead. Let me launch more fighters, or boarding parties to be sure. Perfect timing on that, because now I have a strangle tentacle or kraken to kind of just turn that off.
The enemy has accumulated
And
50%.
apparently my flagship is completely gone. No one knows what happened to it. I don't know if that was enjoyable for my opponent, sadly. Since they only had, what, a single frigate, no beacons, and I played a very passive and slow game, which they were not really equipped for. I just got a bunch of free boarding and all that, so I apologize to them. Because if they could reliably detect me multiple times, then this could have been a very interesting match for them. But it feels like just a slow, agonizing defeat. Which makes me wonder why I wasn't playing as Chaos, because they kind of enjoy that kind of play style, you would think. But it felt fun. I definitely enjoyed how it played out. Definitely a lot of micromanagement needs to be kept in mind. But I enjoyed that match nonetheless. I just wish I could say the same for my opponent, sadly. So maybe I should stop with the stealth tactics for now. I was thinking maybe going back to Chukari, but let's play with some Space Marines instead. Do I want to... Well, I was talking about experimenting with 6 cruisers. The torpedo variant instead of the lances. Since the idea here is that it allows me to practice playing a faction, especially if I'm going to go with Hishuriani for Season 3 of multiplayer. This will at least give me some practice fighting without any reliable fission. So instead, probably what I should do is get an actual Mark 1 strike cruiser. I don't have the points for it. Oh no, never mind, I have like too many of them, that explains it. In fact, that should be the flagship, shouldn't it? If I were to be serious. At least this way, it'll play almost exactly like a lot of Asiani type of fleets play out as. So I can experiment with that while jumping as different factions. Hell, I should probably play as Asiani as well at some point too, shouldn't I? But we'll give this a try. Still a question if I should go with Disruption Overcharge or not, but remains to be seen what we're up against, I guess. To be fair. At least this will be a fleet that they can see coming. It just might not be a pretty endeavor. They're gonna be bored to death just as effectively as the Tyranids did. The Space Marines do it a little more forcefully though. Especially if they can... Well, same opponent, but at least they have something a little bit better to work with. Maybe. Maybe. I just hope this can be more entertaining for them. Which makes me wish maybe I had the battle barge instead. That would have helped make it a little more fair. Or at least more interesting for them. Since I'm going to be, to a limited extent, be trying to fight them through sheer firepower as well. With some really good boarding on other ships. Do I want lock-on? Maybe I do. I don't know what to honestly expect. Or... reload probably be better to faster recharge on my abilities and torpedoes though. Yep, it helps if I group them properly though. There we go, problem solved. And then otherwise, well, vision's not a big factor, I guess. And, well, what am I afraid of, honestly? Not really a whole lot there. Aside from maybe the Nova cans gain a good hit on me, that might be the exception. So let's go with more firepower, brute force instead.
We stand ready. Underway.
So I'm going to say this is probably the same fleet, probably. one frigate's not going to matter to him in this case, because I'm always going to be visible
Hold course.
outside of the gas cloud on the left there when I get to it.
Where shall we strike?
You have seized a strategic area.
All power to engines!
And I do have Thunderhawks, but I'll have to wait till they clear this gas cloud first before I even think about revealing them. And then it begs the question, well, if they're gonna reconceal themselves, they'll probably have to go here, so I can take my time with the boring torpedoes and wait until I recall them. I was wondering if I should suicide these Stormhawks to get faster access to the more Stormhawks to kind of protect and screen for my torpedoes or
Where
not.
shall we strike?
I think I'm fine preserving my charges.
Engines engaged.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So we'll see where they go here,
Give us purpose.
because they have to go somewhere eventually. There's no point aiming for the generators. Maybe the deck, since I do have a Kulex's Assassin. So the idea there is to destroy the deck of at least one of them there, and then immediately cause a mutiny with the lightning strike. That's the thought process.
We stand ready.
I just gotta make sure the shields are down for that to actually work, though. And it helps to know which ship is which before I decide on that matter. Because I may do it on a cruiser, because at least that way it'll be a lot quicker to destroy said deck. At least through crew damage, at least.
Give us purpose.
And I probably should have hid myself in the gas cloud.
At your command.
I still technically could do that,
Halt! Advance!
since I'm going to have 3 objectives in a moment.
Where shall we strike?
You have seized a strategic area.
Enemy in sight.
So Dominator, and we're not going to reveal the other ones. So the others are just hitting the
I'm
gas
listening.
cloud so far.
Give us purpose.
I'm perfectly fine with that in a Mars or a Dictator of some kind.
Show us the enemy.
That's all we know so
Where
far.
we're needed.
But they do have a Nova Cannon at least, so I gotta be very
stand
mindful of
ready.
that.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I'm gonna fire 2 boring torpedoes, see if they conceal themselves or not, or even see it coming, in all
Show us
seriousness.
the enemy.
Because this will be a lot of boring damage if they don't. No, I did. I was gonna say I lost my fire charge. Nope, they made it out. Ooh, but we found out where the frigate is.
Repositioning.
That is useful information for me.
I am listening. Where shall we strike?
Thankfully, that frigate did not kill off my fire squadron I was trying to
Give us
preserve.
purpose.
Since, again, I don't need to do a damn thing. I have 3 objectives, my opponent has to make the move.
Moving to position.
It's going to be a slow match with that said, but I'm kind of throwing him a little bit of bone because this should be, in theory, easy for him to just shoot down. Let's see, that's 8 boring assaults? Yep, 8.
Boarding caused critical damage.
Now my opponent needs to see those
Underway.
coming. To best evade them.
Hold course.
Now let me launch the fighters to
listening.
reveal this frigate if it's still in there, that is.
Boarding successful.
You win. Well, Cold Arms, that's... I praise them for that. Now the big
Our
question.
wrath cannot be denied.
Are you going to... What is
Boarding
it?
caused
Turn
critical
that off
damage.
once the boring assaults are done is the big question.
I am listening. At your command.
Our wrath
We'll
cannot
just
be
shoot this
denied.
down. I don't think my opponent even notices it's getting shot at the
We
moment.
stand ready.
So it's going to be an easy kill, sadly.
Enemy in sight.
Oh my god, it is a trap.
Where shall we strike? To where we are
I hate to
needed.
break it to you, but
Show
I'm
us
going to
the
ram
enemy.
myself, apparently. That was not what I want to do.
Give us purpose. We stand ready.
Alright. launch the Stormhawks and let's get the hell out of here. We got more speed than you, damn it. So you just gave us a prime opportunity to ambush these guys. And you still have cold arms going.
I am listening.
Show us the enemy.
Engines engaged.
Now you're still revealed. We're still about to
Where
jump
shall
the
we
other
strike?
squadron, so I feel bad for them.
Halt! Advance!
This is not going to be pretty, folks.
Enemy in sight.
And I have fighter squadrons, and I'm
command.
flying right at your ass, so it's not a big deal.
We stand ready.
There we go,
Moving
that's
to
better.
position.
And then we'll just board the other one to
Our
death.
wrath cannot be denied.
I want the deck to be permanently destroyed, but I need to destroy the engines with that said. Or it's a mutiny. So its crew might die completely anyway.
Boarding successful.
Hold course.
Now the deck just needs to die for me to take advantage of
Our
this.
wrath cannot be denied.
Reinforcements are not going to be here in time. I'm going to make certain of it. Hell, I should probably send you off the proper way with dumbfire torpedoes. Because, yeah, your deck's about to be destroyed in a moment. I'm
Enemy
waiting
in
for it.
sight.
Damn it!
Give us purpose.
Never mind that. You just barely survived the
Where we
permanent
are
deck
needed.
destruction.
Teleport attack successful.
There, that's more like
I am
it.
listening.
I did a bad shot with my torpedoes with that said, though.
Where we are needed.
Teleport attack successful. Where shall we strike?
But this is all but dead.
We stand ready.
There. Thank you for accommodating me. Oh, we killed off the crew completely. I want your deck
Give
gone,
us
but,
purpose.
well, the fleet might still rally and recover it. And now we actually see a damn self-destruction. That cost me a damn match against Mechanicus earlier, for crying out loud. And that is what, 3 out of 4 shots?
Accumulated 25% of strategic points.
So, we're doing good here so far.
We stand ready.
Nearly a third of his fleet gone. I still have 3 objectives, so...
Moving to position.
And we're gonna have ourselves a prime firing arc.
Where shall we strike?
Which one do I have deck prioritized, though, if any? None, really, so let's
listening.
fix that. Actually, I want to launch more boring torpedoes. I'm probably not going to do that, though. Not yet.
Hold course.
Oh, deck gone. Let's fix this.
Rearm.
There, lots of boring actions.
Give us purpose.
Now let's prioritize your deck so we can move you from the
Engines
equation.
engaged.
Although we still need to kill off your shields, with that
Main
said.
batteries fire.
Boarding caused critical damage. Where shall we strike?
Now the debris is kind of in the way, which is a bit of a problem.
We stand ready.
I'm not going to hit with torpedoes like I want.
Where we are needed.
Where shall we strike?
There's some good torpedo hits, although my
Where shall
opponent
we strike?
is not boosting like they probably should.
Command. Show us the enemy.
Oh, that crew is pretty much dead.
Holding successful.
That's pretty much all dealt with.
Purpose.
I think we could say this is all but over already.
Our wrath cannot be denied.
Board the hell out of this dang thing.
Is it possible? We stand ready.
And just finish it off. Although really, I'll probably kill this thing with torpedoes before its crew's gone anyway. Let's not kid ourselves.
Give us purpose.
I was thinking of using those torpedoes on this other one, but
Moving to position.
this Oberon's a much more prime target.
I am listening. Where
Nope.
we are needed.
Sadly, you're a flagship, so I was hoping to launch more torpedoes, but no. Nope. I don't want the group
Cannot
order.
be denied.
No group order allowed.
All power to engines.
Show us the enemy.
Redirecting.
That's all she wrote.
Boarding course.
This thing will pretty much burn to death before it gets shot down by everything. Yeah, splitting up the fleet like that and letting them get isolated is a big deal. But I don't think my opponent had armor-piercing ammo anyway to really punish me the best. In all honesty, I never really checked. Nope, hate to cut you off there, buddy. Nope, they did actually have armor-piercing ammo. I wasn't really all that intimidated, if I were to be honest. Although, still a question why the beacon's there. Don't know how useful that is, otherwise. But in all honesty, what kind of upgrade would be good for them? Maybe a stasis bomb or a plasma bomb if you could somehow destroy my engines. Group order? I'm trying to think of what... I think it's supposed to have the rest of your fleet follow a specific ship. Let me actually just check it quickly. I'm not sure what the group order is supposed to even do. I think, like I said, your ship's supposed to follow after the one you have selected, but the annoying factor I have with it is it automatically assumes I want a group order when I right-click move on my ship. So let's see what happens there. That's what that's the group order there, and it's a little bit of weird conga line going on. They're supposed to follow the flagship.
Underway.
As you can kind of see, that's how it's technically working. Which in all honesty, now that I think of it, that's what the AI does in the campaign, doesn't it? Since I see this weird conga line going on as well. But as you can see...
ready.
Oh, now you actually want to cooperate. Sometimes I have to click multiple times for that to break. I literally have to tell them to cancel order for that to actually work. So I'm a little bit shocked it was that simple to break it. Yeah, they're dancing for ya. We should have took a screenshot of that occasion, huh? But that's what the group order does. It's supposed to help make it easier to control your fleet, sort of. By having all the fleets stay together and have like a convoy or at least a line of some kind, with of course the flagship or at least your more durable ships in front. I don't know about the rest of them though, how it prioritizes. But let's not put it off any longer. Let's play some Adriani. Let's hope I don't make people's day miserable though, with that said. And this is the one with the Lascan flagship, so I would like extended range on that. I would kind of feel bad though if we have to face off against the same person again. Because if that Space Marine match was any indication, this is going to be brutal. Maybe. Although any long-range hits can still be felt if I do it wrong. Now, what do we get this time around? Same fella? Someone else? We get Mechanicus. So, same rules as always with Eldari, or really anything that has a cooldown movement system. Never use my Wraithbone shift unless I absolutely have to. And then the trick there will be knowing when I can safely just dodge out, or at least heavily mitigate the Novacan damage. Because as soon as I Wraithbone shift and my opponent knows what they're doing, or at least burn both my Falls Maneuver and Wraithbone shift rather, they're gonna bombard me to before the fall, I guess, if I'm unlucky enough. And I kind of would like to avoid that effect. Otherwise, well, I'm trying to think of how to best use my flagship since it is ideally supposed to be solo, just bringing down the shields without me having to rely on Disruption Overcharge, or at least a Disruption Bomb. And Stasis Bomb is good for keeping them at distance. Now, the one problem I've been having with basically all the Eldari factions almost is I'm a little bit stubborn about switching over to reload stance to speed up my Wraithbone shift. Since the critical hit, especially on the pulsars, is really damn impactful and kind of key in a lot of circumstances for victory. So I gotta get out of my own way, as it were, and try to stop doing that. Try to. Or at least switch over to reload when I feel like I need to, when dodging Novacans is more important than damage, or at least critical hits. That will of course be the trick, knowing when that window is, since I should be fine early on. Since so long as my Wraithbone Shift and Falls Maneuver are on cooldown, I'm not really getting any value at all out of reload. Almost. Alright. Okay, I was wondering where our Mechanicus opponent was. So all I know is there may be a 5th ship inside the gas cloud. All these are cruisers of some kind, though. I think I'll let them have this one objective. I'm not quite tempted to grab that, since I can grab all these other ones instead.
How may I serve?
And once they're out of the gas clouds, I'll launch fighter squadrons to try and reveal them. But I need to pay close attention to my fleet, so that way I can see when those Novacans are coming. Especially if I'm not spraying out said fleet too. Because I gotta keep in mind when they're in range. 25. Oh, that's wrong group.
You have seized a strategic area.
Need to somehow know when they're in range, so that is basically half the range there. So yeah, they're in Novacan range, or at least damn close. So I don't want to boost. Is basically what that means. And there are 5 ships. Remains to be seen if they have a frigate or not, because otherwise they could start harassing me with lance fire, which I can't see, which will be a bit annoying.
Underway. For the craft world.
We'll just take our time and grab the objectives.
You have seized a strategic area.
And they are clear of anything that can kind of conceal themselves. So I'm free to reveal them, and then we'll see about maybe soften them up.
We understand.
And even if I forfeit this one objective, that's fine. I'm again gonna have 3 of them on the right here.
Relocating.
So it forces my opponent to take action. I would love to shoot you. I'm gonna have to recall quickly though for that to matter.
The winds rise.
So you do have... Oh, that was a mistake. I keep telling myself not to do that, but I still have Falls Maneuver at least.
How may I serve? Underway.
Let's just not burn that too quickly.
Ancestors. We understand.
Yeah, this is gonna suck there. Damn it. I did that to myself in a hurry, didn't I?
Relocating.
The enemy has seized a strategic
Not quite
area.
made out, but I think I can dodge these other ones.
Where the winds guide.
Yeah, that's why you don't burn the Falls Maneuver. Really easy to punish that quickly.
As foretold.
You have seized a strategic area.
And I just did it again, but at least their Novacans are on cooldown. I should be hit in a moment.
How may I serve? Where the winds guide.
And yeah, apparently it's 5 cruisers and battleship.
You have seized a strategic area.
So let's try and correct the sum.
Relocating.
The ships are going to be hitting.
For the ancestors.
Just got to be mindful of the disruption bomb I'm putting on myself
I
here.
stand ready. As foretold.
Now let's do this properly.
How may I serve? Underway. The winds rise.
Come on, get moving, damn it.
I walk the mariner's path.
And I did have engines prioritized too.
We understand.
No, not my engines. Anything but that. Now I just gotta preserve my ships. And I thought I just repaired the engines, you cursed thing. And you're not supposed to be fragile as well, so that's what makes it really sucky. But I still have 4 objectives, so let's just take our time here. But due to bad luck on that part, I am not quite gonna... Yeah, your engine's permanently gone now.
I walk the mariner's path.
Oh, I thought it was revealed.
For the craft world.
Can I dodge that? No, I can't.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
And this is pretty much dead. I can only hope to maybe outlast the shot some. Inconvenient engine critical hit there really early on.
The craft world will weep for this loss. We understand.
So let's see. Let's get ready to do some more damage here.
How may I serve?
I could probably start chipping down his damage, but Stasis Bomb's gonna help in this regard. Maybe.
Raise sail.
Oh, you're still revealed. And I timed that poorly, didn't I, too?
Let song coax forth new function. For the craft world. Relocating.
So that may have been a mistake, but well, that's definitely more of a mistake. Just not moving with you,
The winds rise.
because that engine's completely gone. Your generator last is gone.
I stand ready.
Need to get myself reconcealed some. And your engines are permanently gone too again.
For the ancestors. How may I serve?
Yep, nothing I could do there in that regard.
Mariner's pirouette.
The enemy has accumulated.
You should dodge it just
25%
barely.
strategic points.
I guess I should be getting more aggressive against this fleet.
Foretold. Underway.
Because now, I'm pretty much screwed as it is.
Relocating. I stand ready.
And those are bad torpedoes, alright? Yeah, those quite didn't do the damage necessary.
I walk the mariner's
Maybe I should have been more brute force, or try to do some more forcing the issue a little bit.
for the
Since the Lances just eventually got the critical hits really early on, no less.
sail. I stand
Yeah, and engine's permanently gone there again. So,
underway.
yeah, it is a bit of attrition, I guess. I played that poorly.
Foretold. How may
Because I should be honestly expecting to get those critical hits really damn quickly.
winds rise.
Since, why wouldn't they prioritize the engines in all
Walk the
seriousness?
mariner's path.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic points.
The Autarch's vessel. It's gone.
Yeah, well, I'm not satisfied with that, so let's try that again. Although,
Coax forth
it
new
helps if I
function.
type it properly. Yeah, I was playing it way too slow, kind of like I was with Corsairs, being able to have the convenience of Shroud. Because after all, and I was trying to play slow because I had all the objectives too, so if I could reconceal myself, especially with the frigate out in the middle of nowhere, maybe I could have just went on points, but I don't know how interesting that would be to watch. Let's try it again. Let's redeem ourselves after that mess up. Since maybe I was trying to play it like a Corsair. Now the big question, is it the same opponent or not? Hell, if I had been bold enough to maybe snipe that frigate, that would have helped a ton too. It might have. Although, because that's a 200 health frigate, I could have used Maelstrom on it. Well, I had Disruption Bomb and Stasis Bomb, let's not kid ourselves. I still like the idea of just grabbing all the points and just winning through that, in all honesty. Since after all, the frigate was out in the middle of nowhere, there's only a... I'm an idiot. You can tell fatigue's probably getting to me now, to an extent, but... this layout works for them a little bit better, though. I like the idea of Maelstrom to maybe just kill that frigate, or at least force it to boost so I can see it. Since I don't think he had a mission dissipator, which would help nicely there. And it is on a bit of a 3-minute cooldown. Alright. So, otherwise, did the accelerate batteries even do anything, I wonder? Probably not, in all seriousness. I'm just wondering what to cut, because, well, Stasis Bomb is great for keeping him from chasing me, to an extent, and I need Disruption Bomb to get at the hull quickly. I'll get rid of the Stasis Bomb, I think. Actually, I don't need everything over here, although it's a bit of an awkward layout. Since I can easily grab these two objectives and then just boost on over to regroup with the rest of the fleet. Ideally, maybe. It also really helps if I can get behind the fleet too. It can be really awkward because since it takes so long, especially if they're boosting away from me there to try and get those shots off as well. So getting behind them is really tricky to do, to get those kind of free shots and damage.
You have seized a strategic area.
Maybe I should... I know what I'm up against, so maybe I should just hang on to this until I get a sense where the frigate's at.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
No, everything's prioritized there. At least the engines are, although that may not help too much, I guess. Well, it does for the torpedoes, let's not kid ourselves. And it's great for denying them from chasing me to an extent, too. I just gotta remember not to mess up on the Burning Falls maneuver preemptively there.
You have seized a strategic area.
But we know the frigate's gonna be trying to open up for some lance shots. So we'll just take our time with that. Since the frigate should be somewhere around here, roughly.
You have seized a strategic area.
And if it isn't, well then, that just means I might run into it here with my fleet. I'll have two ways to tell if I see a frigate. I'm revealed here, or I just fly into it naturally, well, or my fighters kind of reveal it.
Relocating. Underway.
So long as I'm outside their 22,000 range, I should be in decent shape to avoid crippling fire after getting revealed by the frigate. Because again, I have 3 points. I'm really tempted to grab a 4th, but there's no need to grab a 4th. This is probably where part of the problem is with my Eldari fleet, or mindset in general. Since I have so much raw burst damage to potentially kill ships instantly, I kind of want to try and also get in there, have my cake and eat it too. But I want to wait until they do something about this first. Because as soon as they make a move for the objectives there, I'll know where the frigate's at for one, if it tries to grab the point.
We understand.
Just gotta remember not to preemptively boost. And be ready to have these ships support each other too is the big thing. Also need to watch where they're going, so that way I know where Novacans are currently pointed at.
The winds rise. The winds rise. How may I serve?
I might as well just reveal these at some point, and if we see a frigate, well, maybe I can plan for that later.
Strategic area.
Underway.
Now where are these facing? Because I'm tempted to just boost forward with this squad.
Energize thrusters.
Since these ones... Oh, there's the frigate. Again, I'm tempted to shoot it, but... It just needs to be in there for 10 seconds.
Relocating. For the craft
Not quite enough, but it is their only vision as well, keep in mind.
sail. I stand ready.
Now, which way are these going?
Our foe is here.
My opponent wants to reveal me.
Relocating. I stand ready.
Okay, I'm not quite in Novacan range yet. I may regret this choice.
Understand.
Especially since the mark, well, the mark's
You
now
have
gone.
accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Where the winds guide.
Now, I am going to get pincered a bit, so I gotta be careful of this maneuver.
As foretold.
But 15 seconds. Once we hit 10 seconds, I'm perfectly safe, arguably to a Novacan shot, a single one at least.
Raise sail. How may I serve? Activate coolant. Underway.
Okay, they are going to try to grab the objective at least, but
Is here.
yes,
The winds guide. Energize thrusters. Relocating.
and you had your scanner pulse at a perfect time there, damn it.
We understand.
That was a little unfortunate, but I make it out, maybe.
Winds rise.
Oh, just dodge a bullet there, but we're not out of the woods yet, let's be serious.
Raise sail.
You have no scanner pulse to get your lance shots in, though.
Mariner's path. How may I serve?
I'm still marked, so I gotta keep that in mind, as tempted as I am to boost to try and conceal myself.
As foretold. For the craft world.
Yep, now I'm gonna get myself in a bit of trouble here. Especially since I don't have stasis bomb anymore.
I stand ready. Underway. Where the winds guide. Relocating. Underway.
Alright, I think I know what I want to do here to an extent. This is going to be
You have
risky.
seized a strategic area.
Energize thrusters.
Because you burnt up a lot of your combustion gauge here. I'm hoping.
As foretold.
But engine instruction still stinks.
I stand ready.
Alright, let me just kill these cursed things, I guess.
Underway. How may I serve? Where the winds guide. Holding advance. We understand. Slake our wrath.
Yeah, because the engines are permanently gone here, so
The enemy has
let's try and finish
accumulated
these off quickly.
25% of strategic points.
The Autarch's vessel. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm messing up with controls a little bit, though.
Rise.
Your engines are gone. We didn't quite kill the one ship I want, dang it.
Relocating.
Yeah, this is abysmal control there, but those were bad torpedoes still.
Percent of strategic points.
As foretold.
Since I still have objectives, I still have a point lead. I just gotta actually kill off some of their ships to make this matter.
We understand.
And that's a little tricky to do. A little bit.
For the craft world. Underway. How may I serve? Where the winds guide. Begin the song of renewal.
Okay. I don't think it's a good idea to try and kill these. I don't think I can kill them right now. With the firepower I lack.
The wings rise.
But if you're not gonna move, these torpedoes are gonna hurt. No, I didn't want the direct hit though. Ah, that's unfortunate. That was not what I want to see.
Begin the song of renewal.
Just bad control there, pretty much in general. Since I really do like the idea of just punishing them for being a death ball.
Walk the mariner's path. Relocating.
Of course, if I ever boost, I get punished heavily at the same time.
Underway.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Ah, dang it. I should have fired torpedoes and at least kill these cursed things. That might help a ton. Because of how close this actually was to a victory, too. If I had committed a little bit faster.
I stand ready. Activate coolant. The winds rise.
Maybe if I just go super aggressive, I could just kill this fleet off incredibly quickly, rather than trying to be fancy and try to go for the objective game.
World will weep for this loss.
Since in all honesty, who goes for the objective game anymore? Am I? Although Stasis Bomb would have helped there in that regard, since I didn't get a whole lot of value out of my Disruption Bomb, did I now? Yeah, because just committing close range engagement probably would have murdered that fleet. Since that, yeah, that dang Maelstrom did a ridiculous amount of damage. I just didn't have the fleet, let alone the focus, to kind of murder everything. So, I'm a bit upset with myself there. So we'll switch over to something a little more simplistic, maybe. Actually, I'll do one more match and then call it a day. We broke through 3 hours, so at least that's a victory of sorts. There is always that. Let's just hopefully end it off with a win. That would be ideal. That would be the hope, at least. Oh, no, I don't want to skirmish. No. Don't let me decide what my opponent is. So, what are we going to get there? Still waiting on opponent, so it is a rematch. So, the simple truth is I get in their face. No more worrying about the objectives, I suppose. They still can do a noteworthy amount of damage, especially if they ram me. But once I get in close, there's no problem. I do wonder if I want the micro warp jump for my despoiler though, so that way it has an easy way to jump in. Since it's going to have a difficult time being in front of the Carnages after all. Disruption bomb will be good, and we'll see what that brings us. But I'm expecting to get in close, so I don't think I need demonic sight, since they're stronger at range anyway. And a mission disappear, well, it's not really all that helpful, maybe. Since I'm going in aggressively. Yep, this is the macro can fleet. Well, mission disappear allows me to grab objectives quickly at least, so there's always that. And these three ideally can murder the frigate for me. With the torpedoes, if I can hit with said torpedoes, that would be good. Otherwise, let's get this going, I guess. See if this plays out differently. Like I said, just go super aggressively, I suppose, and then worry about the objectives after, I guess. Is the moral of this. I did not pay any attention to what kind of upgrades they had, so... Gotta be mindful of a Kulex's assassin eventually breaking my ships.
Your orders. For the War Master!
Now, I kind of want to destroy their engines to keep them from running away, but maybe generators, since I don't have the...
We stand ready.
Well, for the battleship anyway, probably want to destroy generator.
Moving to those coordinates. Reporting.
You have seized a strategic area.
Now, these three's job is simple. They're going to try and find that frigate. And ideally murder it. Not that it means a whole lot, but it means they're blind to 9,000 range at fission.
We'll follow your command.
So they can't get long range shots on me, and ideally it opens up for me to spot them. Actually, I've been pretty good about finding their fleet with their frigate with fighters, so maybe I'll do that.
For the War Master. Moving to those coordinates.
Now, I'm pretty certain... Oh, I forgot my stances, which is a bit of a mistake, since I will want to change that to reload at some point.
Show us our victims. To the slaughter.
No frigate there yet, so... It's likely... I seriously doubt it's directly in front of the fleet, but...
Enemy ship sighted.
We're getting close.
You have seized a strategic area.
There we go. Not quite. Murder!
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Engines hot.
Well, that was easy.
As the War Master wills.
Now I just gotta preserve these ships and watch for Nova cans. Now ideally start prioritizing our targets.
For the War Master.
Since Nova cans are likely gonna start triggering.
Engines hot.
Oh, I did scanner pulse with you, didn't I? So that's a little inconvenient.
Escort craft lost. For the ruinous powers. Enemy ship sighted. Your orders. Retros activated. For the War Master.
Now, maybe a little bit preemptuous, but I'm in a good position to maybe take advantage of this.
I cannot, Master. Set engines to full ahead.
Well, they fell for that ruse, didn't they?
Reloading ordnance. Our strike team slaughtered them. Your orders.
Now, I do have armor-piercing ammo. We didn't take any hits, but we need to murder these ships quickly.
Show us our victims.
Is what I need to start doing.
Unstoppable. Show us our victims.
I'm not quite gonna get to do it.
As the War Master wills.
One of the crew is heavily gone, though. You are about to get rammed, which may not be all that exciting.
Reporting.
And your crew is almost gone, so we got 2 targets really damn close to death.
At once. Engines hot. We stand ready. Moving to those coordinates.
Now another disruption bomb, finish this off quickly, even though I'm not getting the best arc I want.
As the War Master wills. For the War Master.
Damn it, your engine's gone. Why do my engines continue to want to die on me?
Break them. We are unstoppable.
I couldn't tell you, but
I,
your crew is gone.
Master.
Your Novacan's not going to do
Fear
much
us,
here.
for we strike from the war.
Now let's
You have
try.
accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Let's try and murder this thing.
To the slaughter. Show us our victims.
There, problem solved.
Our strike team slaughtered them.
3 of their ships are gone. Hell,
Setting course.
this is already over. I'm just not paying attention to my frigates the best.
We are
Which could be launching
unstoppable.
torpedoes, although with such a death ball it's kind of hard to do that.
Ahead. Reporting. Your orders.
Now, is this ship going to explode on me is the one thing I'm worried about.
Activated. Engines hot.
No, I don't want to ram my ships too, even if they are only frigates.
Setting course. Heavy damage.
Saw that coming.
Enemy ship sighted. Moving to those coordinates.
Oh well, you're about to break, we're fine. This is over, especially with your deck currently gone. Now we just gotta get through the shields, since apparently you take no morale damage while the shields are up.
Show us our victims.
Alright. There, I got myself a victory just by brute forcing it a little bit. Which worked out nicely. My opponent decided to burn all their abilities on the fact that my despoiler was standing there. And I got away with the micro warp jump, so that's not something you have happen very often, where your opponent falls completely into the micro warp jump trap. Because I'm pretty certain they can even see the channel bar for that ability. Or maybe that's bugged as well, where it sometimes shows rather, and sometimes doesn't. But it paid out well nicely there. It was to the point, but I should have seriously been more aggressive with my Asiani fleet for that same reason. And stopped trying to play an objective-based game, alas. But nonetheless, that was a good 3 hours and nearly a half of streaming, so I hope if nothing else that helps alleviate the lack of videos I did over the past few days.